Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today is the grand finals in the Wild Rift Shattered Pacific Legion. My name is Sir Cloud, together with my wonderful buddy here, Guiyang, will be your storytellers for today. And we would like to take a moment to thank those who are supporting this tournament. The Malaysia Ministry of Youth and Sports, also known as KBS, under the Esports Fund, which is the KBS ESI for short. Our host is Instalock Esports, which is an esports organizer in Sarawak. Our co-host will be Unimas Esports Club from University Malaysia Sarawak. They are the students that help us do the good stuff behind the scenes, and also the WSPL community as well. And those who are running the broadcast, Gizmo Arena, very experienced esports company and cyber cafe in Sarawak. And this tournament is also supported by the Unimas Entrepreneurship Center. How are you feeling, Guyang, for this grand finals?
I'm excited. I'm psyched, and I can't say that I'm surprised that they are here in the finals, or at least one team is gonna be in the finals. They're really strong. Faithfulboiz, ADV, they are gonna be the top two teams that will battle right now in the grand finals to claim the top spot and determine which team is the best here in every team that joined from multiple regions as well. And I'm so excited because these teams actually have a lot of history onto each other, or not really onto each other, generally in competitive scene. They participated in our local tournament as well, which is called Wild Rounds Pilipinas, and they had like two tournaments of those. They had like international experience as well, and they really grind a lot for Wild Rift. So I think here they just want to demonstrate how good they are, and this is more like gonna be just a battle of pride, I guess, against the two teams.
Well, what better place than to demonstrate their capability in the grand finals, right? We will be playing a best of 5 series, ladies and gentlemen. And just to let you guys know, the prize pool distribution, grand finalists will receive either 3,500 ringgit or 2,000 ringgit, depending on first place or second place. Third place onwards, we have already locked it in. It is 1,200 ringgit. Fourth place will be 1,000 ringgit. Fifth to sixth place will be 650 ringgit. And seventh to eighth place will be 500 ringgit. Now, I wonder how much is 3,500 in Filipino peso. I gotta.
Actually, I ran the math already.
Oh,
in the Philippines, for all the Filipino watchers out there supporting and of course like sharing, make sure to share the live stream, guys, and invite your friends to watch as well. 3,500 ringgit is 50,000 pesos, and 2,000 is around 28 to 29, almost 30,000 pesos. So you can go anywhere you like with those kind of money, and probably party with your friends or eat some great food with your loved ones as well.
Oh man, I'm already imagining the sisig, the halo. Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
And it's dinner time, ladies and gentlemen. But we gotta get to the game right now. We're gonna go straight to the ban and pick phase, and looks like the Gragas will not see the light of day.
ADV gonna be on blue side as well as Faithfulboiz go towards the red side. So far, based on their like last matchup against each other, right? We actually saw two games in their best of three in which ADV won. Two games that ADV was actually on red side, and they won both. They won one of those games. I think in this case, it's going to be very important where a particular team actually starts, because here, for example, ADV is on blue side. They can actually not. They don't really need to ban out the meta champions, which we see being banned away by Faithfulboiz. They're the ones banning out the Zillion, the Bard, possibly the Nocturne as well. But ADV, they can focus on targeting these players from Faithfulboiz, particularly Onops as well, which had like an amazing performance on Isakali in their game number 1. Or they can either like ban it or just take it for themselves.
Yeah, and ADV, they are target banning Faithfulboiz. If I look at the data, the last 3 games that they have played, they have picked Gragas every single round, or every single match that they can have. And also, Gwen had a good game as well yesterday, so they decided to ban it out. Aatrox had had one of the rounds as well. So ADV is just target banning the Faithfulboiz, not really based on what the meta is, like what you said. Okay, that must be some amazing explanation there. I wish I heard it.
Was I muted? Was I muted?
Okay.
Oh, damn.
Oh, okay.
I apologize. I apologize. Let me explain again.
Okay.
Okay,
please.
Akali looks like it's just gonna be allowed here by ADV. But it's so important to look at the champion that Manila Alinam picked because his Camille was so good in the last time that they have met. It was game number 3 yesterday, and he had the MVP performance as well. And they had that formula for success during that game because of the loss of crowd control that they had that allowed them to actually win one of the most important fights in that game, which was the Baron fight in which Faithfulboiz initiated and then they went for the counter engage. And because of the zone controls that they had from their champions, they had like the better punching power and better like distraction power as well. However, the Galio is stolen now because they had the Galio in their composition in that game 3. So it looks like Faithfulboiz, they're adjusting a bit. And it looks like nobody's going to be taking interest on the Akali just yet.
Yeah, this is where I worry, right? It kind of feels like the Galio is a force pick because you just want to break out the Camille Galio sort of combo. You take it for yourselves. And now I wonder if this is going to be part of the original plan of Faithfulboiz. It might not. And now they have to readjust again. And for the Galio to be effective, he has to have somebody who can initiate first, somebody who can hold down whether pickoffs or whether in a team fight, just like Javan 4 or even Camille, for him to be effective with the hero's entrance. Without somebody like that, it's going to be kind of hard.
I think this Fiora pick is going to be huge as well for Faithfulboiz, since Spells is really, really good on this. Or like the Baron laner here of Faithfulboiz. They can also even have Bits use the Fiora because he loves those champions. Aside from like the Lee Sin, the Kha'Zix, the Vega, all those high mechanically like cap champions, he loves fighter champions as well in the jungle. I like that we do see Mirai use one of his signature champions, which is the Azira. So it looks like they want to be extra aggressive in the laning phase. And ADV, they are going to be anticipating the Fiora, predicting that this Fiora is going to be in the Baron lane because we see some bans in the jungle right now. Vi being taken away, those initiators that can be very useful for the follow-up of a Galio. They don't want any of that.
Yep, because the Vi can do that too. Who else? Who else can follow up with the Galio? Maybe a Rel can follow up too. So Rel can still be picked up by Faithfulboiz.
If ADV doesn't ban it away, well, in the second pick phase, Faithfulboiz will have that leverage since they will pick one champion first before the 2 pick here for the B4, B5 of ADV. So Akali is going to be taken away. And Faithfulboiz, I think ADV anticipated that the Galio is not going to be in the mid lane because they banned out the Akali, right? And Galio is like a flex pick. It can be used into the mid lane. We saw some games yesterday where Galio was used in the mid lane. But I think this Galio is going to go in the support role for Disaster instead. And since the Akali is banned away, they hover the Aurora. It's not really going to be a bad pick, but Lissandra might just be better just because of the crowd control and the reset potential from his passive.
Yeah, and support Galio is not bad as well right now. You don't need to overly depend on to somebody to initiate first for you to make the follow-up. You can play as the counter initiator. Somebody jumps onto you, for example, a Camille or a Javan jumps onto someone, whichever it is. He heroes entrance in and he kind of breaks up the fight. So it's a decent spot for Galio to be in now. Let's
see what's going to be the last pick here for ADV. I love the Ornn pick. I love the Oran hover right now. They will have long range initiating power, especially with the crowd control that they have. It can be a good disrupting tool as well against the members here of Faithfulboiz. They might just lock it in. There's so much peel to be provided here for Shy, which is the Severe here. And Severe is one of those really, really safe champions as well. It's highly popular not only here in the Philippines, but internationally as well. We saw it a lot even on Wild Round Smash, just because of the core kit of a Severe. You have your spell shield, you have your great long range poking power, which helps you on your wave clear as well, and you have your ult, which like increases your movement speed alongside with your teammates as well. So generally, ADV has a well-rounded composition designed specifically for late game and team fighting. Faithfulboiz, they're gonna be feeling a little bit of a pressure here, but they can also apply that pressure to ADV if they work around their early game, because they have really strong early game.
Yeah, if they're not able to take advantage of the early game, then Faithfulboiz might have trouble towards the later stage of the game. Because if I look at the draft by ADV, they have a lot of initiation power. With the Jarvan 4, with Camille has a lot of initiation power, and then you have Rise and also Ornn that's also very, very disruptive as well. So I would say that Faithfulboiz, they cannot drag this game into the late game. If not, it might be very difficult for them.
I'm actually quite excited with this. I think this time, compared to yesterday, they're taking it more seriously. I love the picks, I love the bans, I love the respect that they've gave towards each other. I think ADV is one of the very, very few teams as well that can withstand Faithfulboiz in, like, especially Onops' Akali. Because here, especially here in the Philippines, Onops is known so much for his Akali that almost every single game for the past 2 years already, might even be 3 years, he has like a 90+% ban rate on his Akali.
Wow.
That's how good he is. And the first time most of the time, I won't say, I can't say anymore that it's 100%, because it used to be 100%. Whenever the Akali is allowed or opened up, it's a guaranteed win for Onops and his team, Faithfulboiz. But there was a time this year, Wild Rounds Pilipinas Split 1 or Split 2, that it actually got scratched. The record is scratched already. There was a team that was able to conquer the Akali, and that was HPT. ADV or Adventus defeated HPT once already before as well. So they're one of the teams that can actually, I think in terms of qualification, they can withstand a composition of Faithfulboiz with an Akali alongside with the other top tier teams here in the Philippines. But this composition is really nice. ADV with a well-rounded composition with so much front lines. There's so many bodyguards for Agnes Tachyon and Shy as well. They have the Ornn, they have the Camille, they have the Jarvan as well. Lots of terrains as well that they can also bring down. They can bring down the members of Faithfulboiz with their infinite number of interruptions. Faithfulboiz, they do have a double reset potential. I think that's one of the most important factors here in this game. The Viego has a reset potential in getting those with the pass, right? The Heartbreaker, and the Lissandra. Those ice shatters, I think, is going to be very disadvantageous for ADB if ever Faithfulboiz does get even the slightest pickups.
Well, let's see who's going to get the upper hand in game number 1, because it's a best of 5 series. It's going to be a long night for both of these teams, but I'm sure as much as they want to play, they want to end this game in a 3-0 so that you take home the money and just enjoy the night. But let's see who will get home game number 1. Which draft do you prefer now, looking at it?
I mean, I do love compositions similar to ADV, but at this point, especially in the amount of games that I've seen on many teams and many events, I kind of appreciate like the contrast or the differences of compositions. And right now, I think it's more up to just the execution or the win conditions, depending on how you're going to be able to execute them as well. Because if we break it down a little bit, if we extrapolate from the data we have seen so far, like ADV's late game scaling composition designed for team fight, I think in the early game they won't be looking for fights that much or at all, really. So at most their strong point is top lane or Baron lane. Manila Alinam is very much known locally and internationally as well for his amazing plays in the Baron lane, so he's going to be receiving a lot of attention. But for Faithfulboiz, I think they're going to be looking for a lot of picks. One of their targets probably is going to be Manila Aninam to disable ADV early into this game and just snowball. If they get their tempo, they can control the game. If they don't, ADV will eventually like outshine them or overpower them with their great scaling.
But here's my worry, right? The Galio pick. Not because of the Galio itself, but it almost felt like the Galio pick was a forced pick. I wonder if you would know how comfortable Fuyu is using the Galio.
He is. Actually, Galio, alongside with Ornn and Nautilus, is one of the top 3 picks, or like the top 3 support. Like it's the best support that you can actually use, especially in international terms. Hold that thought. Stop me. I think it's gonna be fine. Galio, Nautilus, and Ornn is like the best champions we can use, alongside with like Alistar, especially international play, like Wild Rift League Asia, and they know how to use it.
Oh, Ibn Chad taking a little bit of a risk there, absorbing all the damage. Fuyu the same as well. But now Fuyu putting himself in an awkward position on the inner side of the jungle. Better be careful there. And at least he's managed to get away with that Justice Punch, so he will be fine for now.
Yeah, no kills just yet. They're just getting information as much as they can, getting a little bit of invades, checking some areas, tracking each other's junglers as well. So far in terms of pressure, Faithfulboiz, they are applying it, but ADV, they're being able to prevent it from affecting them.
Looking at the current situation, it is quite clear that both teams are very respectful of each other. One thing that FFB will need to be careful of is the memory of the reverse sweep yesterday, but we see a Justice Punch in the middle and looks like FFB will gain the first blood in this round.
Yeah, they want to even get 2 kills, and that's the reason potential we have been talking about. Shai couldn't do anything because he's too late to the fight, and that's 2 kills, 1 for Pitts, 1 for Onyx, both players and champions that will immensely benefit from those kills.
Oh, we're going to see the top fight as well. Hexstep Ultimatum will be used. But lucky enough for Janggon, he is away from the tower range. So he will be fine for now. If he was underneath the tower range, surely that kill will go to Manila Anilam.
Oh yeah, especially if the Fiora is trapped within tower range and with that Hextech Ultimatum. That's one of the tricky moves, or like the cheeky moves that a Camille can actually do to outplay Fiora. But the repose can be threatening as well, a good counter skill to any crowd control and even damage. And I think it can be fully utilized by our player from Faithfulboiz Pelts.
We expect to see the first major fight to happen in about a minute once the 2 objectives are up. So both sides are still very respectful. We can see no big jungle invasion. Yeah, we see, although it's a 2-0 now to FFB. The ADV, they're playing the patience game. But like what we discussed earlier on as well, FFP, they have to take advantage of their early game and not allow ADV to snowball, especially.
They're about to. I mean, in 35 seconds, objectives will spawn. Collector picked up already for Pitts on a Viego. This is a quick build Viego for sure, especially with the not so recent update on SM3 as well, right? You have crit on it as well. And it works like a Trinity Force, so Viegos don't buy Trinity Force anymore. They buy SM3 alongside with Collector and get that almost 100% crit rate as the game progresses. But with this item, man, that's a huge kill threat already to ADV.
Oh, FFB, they're now taking the active approach. They're not only looking at the blue buff, but they're also looking to secure the Baron, it seems, at the top. Although Manila Nilam is there though, looks like initiation will happen right in front of Baron. Hextech Ultimatum will be deployed, and they might get their next kill. It's going to be Pitts going down, but the trade-off is happening here as intentions As much as he has good intentions, unfortunately, he will go down as well. Manila Anam, now he is in trouble. Jangguan is there. One last hit is needed underneath the turret. Getting a little bit of an assistance. Jangguan is going to go for it. One last hit. But still, they are skirmishing up there. Both of them went down finally.
Yeah, and the fight continues. Shy is still trying to go his way, but it got too deep and got punished by Faithfulboiz. It was a bit of a messy fight, honestly, in terms of Faithfulboiz. ADV got the better end in that fight because they secured 3 kills in exchange for 4 kills for Faithfulboiz. So I have to change that. The main goal for them was to just distract or prevent Faithfulboiz from getting an objective, but looks like they're about to get 2 objectives.
Oh, okay, the dragon now, and it will be locked in by FFB. Not much that ADV can do about this. But still, like what we discussed, ADV, they have to play the patience game. If they can drag this game to the late game, if they can farm, they can be the one to control the map.
Yeah. Still going at it. Chastin is someone about to be used in the mid lane.
Winds of War, and looks like it's FFB playing this very aggressively right now. Even though the turret is there, still not going to be a problem for them. Now they're going to take down the turret. Mid turret down. That's a big one for FFB.
And Snowball unlocked. 3,000 gold lead for Faithfulboiz. 2 objectives from the start of this game. There is a bit of a fight happening in the bot lane as Onups is being dove and about to be taken down for first time rather by Agnes. A 2-1 score on both of them, although Onup does have a higher assist. About to be taken down. Oh!
It was a bit unfortunate that the ignite damage was enough, and Jangguan paid the price for it. At least ADV, they pulled back 2 kills.
That's 2 kills. Yeah, they are slowly coming back a little bit from the deficit of gold that they had earlier. And those kills definitely slowed down the tempo of Faithfulboiz.
Now for Faithfulboiz, they need to get back in control of the lanes. Especially the top lane though. The top lane, Manila Anilam has been playing really well. And like what you mentioned earlier on, Manila Anilam is a reputable player in that lane. And he's definitely showing that here.
Oh man, it's a bit of a rough start for ADV, but so far they're actually recovering pretty well. Now we only see 1,000 gold lead. Yeah, it was a bit of a messy fight, especially in the topside river. They had no reason to contest it. Honestly, it might have been better for them to just answer back or trade objectives with them, getting the Mountain Dragon and giving away the Enchanted Ensemble, but they really wanted to contest them. Maybe they saw an angle, especially since they do have lots of crowd controls. But the Viagra is just a big threat. The Lissandra is just a massive threat as well. And we're not even starting to talk about Mirai, which has been free hitting on all of the fights that they've had so far. Bot lane!
Oh, bot lane, here we go. We might see another kill at the bottom. That's going to be Agnes. Tachiron going down. And right now, Scormat is in trouble. He managed to flash away to safety while his teammates come and join him. But the fight is all over now.
It looks like Faithfulboiz regained their momentum. They're not done.
Oh, they're going in for the jungle invasion now. Justice Punch just to shoo intentions away. And the buff will be stolen by FFV. Right now, they're starting to pick up the pace, playing more aggressively. And with this kind of map control that they have, this will give them a big advantage when the dragon comes up.
Absolutely. Baron as well. Gonna be available in a short while. If they get this, although it's just the first Baron, right? But it can still be utilized well, especially when the team that gets it has a lead.
Oh, surprise, surprise. Cataclysm there. There's no way you're going to be able to get away from this. Yeah, you can flash, but...
He does.
Wait.
He does get away.
Oh, he got away. Wow.
Yeah. He utilized the claw to get back and flashed away first, to get out of the damage range of the members of ADV, and then use the second proc of that third skill. And that's how he got away. A really nice execution by Onups.
No wonder, like what you say, Onups is one of the highly rated players in the Philippines, and he's definitely showing there with his mechanical skills and also his decision making. You have to make the right decision. One wrong decision there, and he could have been gone.
Yeah, honestly, that could have gone really bad, and especially with him like losing his flash, and if he still died, he wouldn't have had like a summoner spell, like wouldn't have a flash on the next fight, which is our objective fight in the bottom side river. But since he got away, so much more safe. Has an ult again, especially with his which is Soul Stealer. Let's see, ADV grouping up.
Two shot rush just to scout things out. Now the dragon will be contested. They're going down to 50% though. And they're going to go all in. Looks like FFB, they're going to challenge for this one. But ADV locks in the Ice Dragon. The fight will continue on. Now they're trying to look for trades here. Who will be the next one to fall? First is going to be Manila, next is going to be Agnes, and that's going to be Scoreman. Looks like ADV. Though they got the dragon, but everything else is falling apart for them.
It's a 4-for-2 trade. ADV, they got the dragon, but they lost so many of their members. And Faithfulboiz, they just got denied for their soul point, but they can still get another objective on the top side river. Baron initiated already. They have their smite. Intentions is still alive, but I don't think he has any interest in contesting this.
Yep, no way he can contest this one. If he goes in, then I'll have a lot of questions. So, one objective each. One dragon for ADV and FFB locks in the Baron. And with the Baron, they can continue to put pressure onto the lanes.
The only positive thing I think we're seeing right now on ADV's side is that Agnes Takina is actually doing a really good job in maintaining a good economy despite being behind, like their team being behind. It's actually 2 items already. He skipped the Rod of Aegis and went for the death cap. He has more damage now.
Oh no, this is looking bad for ADV by intentions. Would it be enough to ignite damage onto him? I doubt so though. But nevertheless, FFB, they have bigger plans in hand. They took down the bottom turret and now they have absolute control of the bottom jungle.
See if they can push this towards the inhibitor towers. The Spitz is looking for another angle. They're looking for picks. They have a great reach, especially with that.
Ooh, true shot barrage all the way just to scout things out. Cataclysm did not lock anyone in. Oh man, that is just unfortunate. Cataclysm, no return at all.
No casualties on Faithfulboiz. I think every single time they get away when they engage is going to be a win for them, because it's already a win for them to just get the attention of ADV, because waves are constantly going to be crashing onto the towers of ADV, and if there's no one there to actually pick up the wave, then it's lost gold and possibly even lost structures for them. So Faithfulboiz are just maintaining their gold lead. It's 3,000, not really all too high, but they're still giving some chances actually towards ADV to scale up. We see Collector and the Navori a quick blade here for Shy already. So he has the cooldowns already for his skills. Agnes is about to maybe get his anti-shield. I think they really need some anti-heal or anti-shield here, especially for the Fiora and the Diego that keeps on getting those resets. They need to find a way to reduce their sustain.
Oh, they managed to catch one. Intentions is now in trouble. Next before the Cataclysm, catching at least one of them inside, but it's not going to give him the returns that he wants. But instead, at least they have a bit of a trade there, but still FFB have the upper hand and they will continue on, putting pressure back on the ADV. However, Agnes scores a triple kill, looking for more at this moment, but Anila missed in trouble. Last hit onto him, is he able to get it? And here comes the true shot barrage from behind, shutting down Agnes Tachiron.
Yeah, it's already a massive damage coming in from Mirai, especially since he has the Muromana and the Trinity Force, and he is basically untouchable on the back line. Although, you cannot deny, Agnes is already starting to hurt. He already completed his Infinity Orb, and he's just going to be getting more of those kills. I think, in terms of comebacks, Agnes Tachion is the way to go.
Ooh, okay, he's going to play a big role coming soon. I mean, we are already at the 15-minute mark. ADV, they have to start to snowball this situation. FFB gave them that window, like what you mentioned earlier on. Now it's a matter of ADV taking advantage of it.
Yeah, because all they have to do is protect Agnes, prevent the Viego, prevent the Lissandra from reaching him, possibly spells as well the Fiora, because the Rise can just like delete anyone with those combos, especially with those 3 items already. I think it was a brilliant decision by Agnes, skipping the Rod of Ages as well and just going ham on just the Archangel staff so that he can get those Rabadon Death Cap and Infinity Orb for the accelerated damage. And now, Faithfulboiz, they have to be very, very careful because if they make a mistake, they know that they can be deleted anytime by the Rise.
I really love the zoning by ADV, allowing the jungler to lock in the dragon uncontested. Speaking of contest, it looks like both sides going to contest for the Baron. And here we go. Looks like the Zonya will be deployed here. And the fight will continue on. Starting off with FFB getting 2 kills. Autumn goes down as well. But look at ADV, they're so tanky at this moment. They can tank all of them. But then again, here comes the rest of them. From the side, it's going to be a triple kill. And it's going to be an ace towards FFB.
Oh man, spells popped off in that fight. To think that he was basically police at that point, but his timing was actually quite perfect, especially Mirai being able to just maneuver around the fight as he keeps on throwing those mystic shots, and them now getting the win is just brilliant for Faithfulboiz.
Wow, 1 fight is all it takes. No Baron needed, ladies and gentlemen. And looks like FFB will lock in game number 1. Very, very well-controlled game by them.
Oh man, this is kind of reminiscent on that one game that they had against ADV. It's basically the last fight that they had in game 3, the Baron fight. But this time it's Faithfulboiz that got the win, and that's thanks to the clutch moment of spells, the Fiora and Mirai, the Ezreal. And to think that I actually thought that it's going to be a win for ADV, especially because of the damage of Agnes. They had a really nice realm warp as well to get the safety away from the Fiora, but man, Mirai stepped up, kept landing those mystic shots and auto attacks, kept kiting the members of ADV, and they clutched it out brilliantly.
But you know what? Whatever it is, there's still more games to come. It's not the end of the day for ADV yet. They still have game number 2 at least. So let's see if they can pull this one back. But before we head on to game number 2, we're going to take a short break, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll see you guys after this break. everyone. Welcome back to the Wild Rift Shattered Pacific Legion, ladies and gentlemen. And in case you just joined us, Faithfulboiz, they won game number 1. Now we're in game number 2, and let's see if ADV can pull things back. Coming into the draft, Guyang, do you think that we're going to see the light of Akali?
I hope. I mean, Faithfulboiz, they're on blue side now, so they have the first pick priority. And ADV, they kind of need to ban the meta champions, at least like Bard, Zillion, right?
Yeah, Bard is definitely going to be out, but normally it's the first ban. Not this time though. Funny enough, he has been like the first ban all the way since yesterday. Why do you think is Bard such a feared champion?
I mean, like Bard and Zillion, they're really strong. They're really strong right now. There's so many things that you can do with those champions, especially in clutching fights, denying big moments from teams, or generally like creating big opportunities for your team as well. It's so. I guess it's so much of a wild card that you don't really want to risk it at all. Lilia's been being banned away is kind of surprising though. I think it's just a champion that they don't want to see on the other side because of the draft that they're thinking of.
Yeah, and I could understand the Aatrox ban as well because ADV played a mad Aatrox yesterday, totally dominated the top lane. So they just don't want to deal with the Aatrox, which is fine. It was also banned in game number 1. So they are probably looking to just ban Aatrox the entire night.
Mm-hmm. I think it's similar to. It's a bit of a mix on the game 2 they had against ADV and the game that they had against 1.5 odds, especially because of that Senna. So I think in terms of their experience, seeing the Senna twice already and losing to it twice as well is not a good sign, and you just don't want to see it at all. Akali being banned away makes sense, but they had to give up the Zillion, so now they solve a problem, but it creates a bit of a problem that they have to solve soon.
Interesting. This is also the first time the Zillion's been let go since yesterday. So do you think that ADV, they have a way to deal with the Zillion?
I mean, there are ways, right? Zillion, the main core kit of a Zillion is those stuns and speed ups, slowdowns, and the revive, right? But if you can interrupt or you can distract the Zillion, prevent him from being able to fully utilize the kit, then it's gonna be nullified. I think right now the route here of ADV is going full on fighters and possibly a lot of front lines so that they can just overwhelm the composition with a Zillion, because if you pick Zillion, it's definitely going to be a support. Then yeah, you have that revive, you have that crowd control, you have those zone tools, but you lack frontline now. So someone has to compromise. May it be the Baron lane or the jungle. Oftentimes it is the jungle, that's why we see a Vi pick right now. But it's not really a solid tank compared to like a Maokai support. So that's one of the disadvantages when you go with a Zillion comp.
And the fact that they have a Vi this time for Faithfulboiz, Vi is normally that kind of jungler that just goes around the map and tries to initiate with the Cease and Deceits. Trying to get early pickups as well. So I can expect Faithfulboiz to be doing like how they did in the previous game where they scored like the first 2 kills or 3 kills fairly early on. And now with the 5, they can do that again.
It's surprising as well to see like Irelia being denied to Manila Elinam, but Spells is really damn good on this champion as well. He has demonstrated it already in like the local tournament here in the Philippines. And right now, Adventus or ADV is just responding by committing to their initial goal. They picked up the Gwen, picked up the Maokai, picked up the Shyvana, lots of front lines again that can be very, very threatening to everyone, not only just front lines and even back lines as well. And I think one of the champions that they can use in the ADC department as well could be like a Corki, could be a Zaya. I think those champions with self-peel and great like relocating tools or great protection for themselves is gonna be a wise choice, especially that there's a Vi, right? When there's a Vi, Zaya becomes much more optimal because you can just use your ult to deny the Vi ult as well, the cease and desist.
Hmm. And I kind of like the first three picks by ADV, right? It gives me this a good mix. You have initiator, you can kind of tank, you can kind of deal damage as well. If there's anything that they could add on, is probably another big damage dealer, and of course that's going to come with the ADC later on. An ADC that stays far away might be kind of nice as well if you kind of think about it. Uh, Considering that you have a strong initiator with the Shyvana already.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if this is gonna be a Morgana, right? That means that uh there's going to be a flex pick here. Like either
Hmm.
the Maokai still being on the support role. The Gwen might be a swap towards the mid lane to the top lane, and the Morgana being into the mid lane to just be safe, battling with anyone since they picked it blindly. They don't know who's gonna be the matchup just yet, but since we see now that a rel is being hovered, if they commit to this, then it's gonna be a bit of a confusing lineup as well. Faithfulboiz, they don't. They go with the Oriana inside, which is a much more staple pick, especially with the Vi. It's a standard combo as well, and it just completes the roster here. I think we still see like one of the disadvantages of the composition of Faithfulboiz, like their lack of frontline. Yeah, Irelia and Vi are kind of tanky, but they're more bruisers rather than tanks. I think they fire more damage than are capable of receiving more damage, right? So it's still a little bit closer to a glass cannon composition in which ADV can easily shatter. They have a Jace now. They have the Morgana for the pickoffs. They have the Maokai as well for additional long range crowd control initiations. And their late game scaling is actually quite scary, despite them not having an ADC.
Okay, I noticed the Vi and Zilli has been switching, so hopefully they decide on whatever that they have now, which is Vi in the jungle and Zillion playing as a support. But based on these two compositions, right? Which composition do you like more?
Actually, like both. Uh, I again like in terms of win condition, Faithfulboiz is gonna strive when they get spells ahead, and also when they manage to be on par in terms of gold with ADV towards the late game. It's like their situations kind of swap. Because game number one, right, ADV had like a late game scaling composition. It's now the situation of Faithfulboiz, but for ADV right now with their lineup, I think it's more explosive in a way. They have so many long range abilities like the J Shockwave, the Morgana Dark Bindings, the Maokai Nature Grass, and then they have like really strong frontline engagers as well, like the Gwen and the Shyvana that can deal a substantial amount of DPS in a prolonged team fight. So I think in terms of target selection, Faithfulboiz might actually have a hard time since Irelia is a single target champion. Zeri, yeah, you can hit a lot of champions, but when everyone's coming at you, it's kind of hard to do that. Vi targets single champions mostly. So there's so many ways that ADV can actually exploit that. And I think their composition is really good at doing that.
And normally, if your competition is single target focus, how I read it is that they would want to try to get very early game pickups. So after they got their necessary spells, they will rotate around the map to try to get those pickups and just uh, snowball from there. Get the pickoff,
Mm-hmm.
get the turret as quickly as possible, and then snowball from there. The fact that you have like a Vi also helps to push turrets really, really fast as well. So that's going to be something that I might be thinking of, like ending the game early, not drag it as long as how we had in the game one.
Yeah, that's one of the things about Vi, right? In the early game, Vi seems to be like a more like a farming champion, similar to like Master Yi, right? But when he gets his items, especially when he gets objectives as well, and when the game kind of progresses, it's hard to really calculate the limit of a Shyvana,
Minions have
especially when the
spawned.
Shyvana is just running at you very, very fast. You think you would be able to survive, but no. Oftentimes, it's a grave mistake. And ADV, they not only just have that, they have so many champions that they can go alongside with the Shyvana, like the Gwen, the Maokai, even the Jace. They just need to be a little careful. Speaking of careful, Disaster's low in HP, but so does Shy.
Yeah, early pokes here by both sides, and what I noticed is that it was Fuyu who actually checked things out on the jungle side of ADV. Maybe a little bit an overstep and he takes a bit of damage, but that's okay. At the laning phase, a support champion is meant to take damage anyway.
It's interesting as well because they're treating it like a Senna comp. Shy is gonna be the one to just be the support this time. While Scorn is the one getting the CS. Especially in the roles right now. Oftentimes we see that kind of switch up only when there's like a Senna, but in this case they're applying it on a different pair. I think laning phase is gonna be much easier, especially that they do have a Morgana, which has like a long range wave clear tool with those black pools, and since they do have a Maokai, like engages are going to be extra difficult, especially for bits later on, because the first skill of a Maokai, that knockback, kind of stops the Vault Breaker, so you're a little bit forced to use your ult later on, and since you're kind of reliant on your ult, then you're kind of forced as well to just reach level 5 and not really get any engages pre-5.
But the top lane as well is an interesting matchup. The Gwen going up against an Irelia. I would say that the Gwen has a clear advantage, especially when the Gwen already has the snip. They're able to put a lot of pressure back on the Jangwan, and he will have a hard time farming. And at this very early stage, we can already see that Manila Anilam has a little bit more control of the top lane as compared to Jangwan.
Yeah, I mean, you can also dodge some of the abilities of the Irelia with your mist, right? And I think it's really helpful, at least in the laning phase. Very helpful in team fights, bottom lane.
Oh, that's a very long chase there. And they kind of force out the flash. But will they be able to take down the turret? Not yet. It is still fairly early. Attempt for a rotation towards the bottom, but at the top, we're going to see the first blood. Pitch will be the first one to go down, but the trade-off happened, and Manila Anilam went down as well, thanks to Jangwan.
It's a bit of a win, actually, for Spells in the top lane, because yeah, it's a 1-for-1 trade, but he is now being able to get a couple of plates onto the tower and manage to craft 1.5 wave there. So that's gold denied towards Manila Anilam. That's why we're seeing a bit of a 500 gold lead in just the Baron lane role. Agnes as well is forced to rotate top lane just to stop the push coming in from Spells. Bottom lane now, ADV is trying to get some gold for themselves. And since it's two champions attacking the tower, they're able to almost equalize the amount of plates taken there by Spells. But it's still going at it.
Oh, at the top, Jangwan last hit, and he's still able to get it before he went down. At least it's a bit of a trade there at the top.
Yeah, but this time, Pitts is gonna be there to actually catch the wave. So it's much more efficient here for Faithfulboiz in terms of the kills happening, and now intentions having an intention to gank top as well.
Oh, it's going to be a 2v1 for sure. They're going to engage, and that's going to be an easy pick-off there. But will Manila Anilam survive this one? Yes. The turret will stop shooting, and he will be okay. So now ADV, they have the kill advantage.
And now they're applying pressure in the bottom lane as well. This tower is close to falling down. They engage, but they back away shortly after. 960 HP left on that tier 1 tower. Top lane as well is being brutally pushed by Spells, and this is a lot of pressure for ADV as of the moment.
But top again is just a bit of a poker between the two sides. But because Jangwan, he had some level of help from his teammates, now he managed to balance out the top lane. And he's very confident in trying to take this 1v1, and here comes the 1v1, but also Intentions, oh no, bad timing. Intentions showed up just at the right moment to secure the kill.
Back-to-back gank. but it's a different champion that was taken down this time around, and they're looking to push that tower.
I'm gonna push at the bottom. Are they gonna get this kill? No, Fuyo says not today.
Yeah, popping out the Chrono Shift and was able to stay alive as well. The ult wasn't procced anymore. I think it wasn't needed. In terms of ult cooldowns, I think every single member here on both teams will have their ults available by the time the objectives spawn up. Maybe Mirai won't be able to have one, so they kind of need to stall things out.
But now they have to kind of buy a bit of time. 10 more seconds before both Baron and Dragon is up, and that's where we'll see the next contest happening. FFB seems to be interested with the Baron side. So it might be a 1-for-1.
In high professional play, normally Enchanted Ensemble or Rift Herald, or formerly known as Rift Herald, is like the priority because it gives you a tool to snowball into the game. And like the logic usually of pro players is they want to get gold is the #1 priority and pushing, so they get that objective, and then when they have the lead, they just deny the second dragon, so that gold won't be available for them.
Oh, and looks like they're gonna put pressure onto the mid. Maybe a bit of an overextension there. Cease and desist will be used underneath the turret. Turret takes a bit of damage there. Turret will go down. And it looks like FFB, great engagement, but are they able to come out clean? One of the players kind of low though, but they have enough protection from each other.
And no casualties on both sides. It's just a bit of a handshake in terms of objectives. ADV, the only difference in this situation right now, in terms of objectives, ADV actually will be happily taking that trade because they have a Shivani.
Oh, 3-on-1, nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. Oh, but he still has a flash. Thanks to the flash, he survives. Oh, no!
Even if he casts his second skill, it won't really negate the damage of the Ignite because it deals true damage. So that's quite unfortunate for spells right there. And ADV cracking that top lane tower, almost equalizing the structure score, but actually they have the lead because they pushed bot lane prior as well. So now it equates to almost 2,000 gold lead by this red side team, and just keep getting these information, like constantly looking around the map and getting there first before Faithfulboiz is key to them winning the fights most of the time. We saw that happening a lot of times in the top lane. We saw it happening once as well in the objective fight. And now they just keep on doing the same setup, replicating now in the bot lane.
But from the side, Hits is waiting for the right moment. He does have the cease and desist, but decision compromise, and now he will be the target though. All in onto Pitts. Nowhere for Pitts to go. Second life on the base thanks to the GA, but there's no way he's able to survive this one. Still able to pull out the cease and desist, and now his teammates are able to counter back. 3 lives traded back. That is a good counter animation by FFB.
Yeah, lots of time and attention bought by Pitts, especially with the help of Disaster right there on that revive, because as they were waiting for the Vi, Onyx and Mirai were actually dealing damage to them. And as they were trying to take down Pitts for the second time, they just got comboed by Faithfulboiz. And since they received too much of those damage, they were already low and they just went for the kills. And now, Faithfulboiz getting their momentum back. They're the ones or at least they equalized the gold now, which helps them in their composition, right? Because we talked about it earlier. Their composition is designed mostly for late game, and all they have to do is just keep the gold even. That's like the bare minimum that they have to do to win this game, and they're doing it so far.
So a bit early for the Dragon though, but they're starting to just scout things out and plant wards around. But they're not really going to commit to it yet. Still managing the waves on the side lanes. It would be great if we can take down the bottom turret though. Give them a bit more space for the Dragon.
Intentions, already having Death Dance, I think is going to be key for him surviving fights. Because all he has to do is run down the members of Faithfulboiz, and he has a lot of targets as well. Their main target as well is going to be the dragon, of course, since they do have the Shyvana. He has to scale up. He needs to get those dragons. Baron gonna be spawning up in the next 40 seconds as well. So whoever wins his fight in the second dragon might have leverage for Baron taking.
We might see a fight anytime soon here. FFB gathering around. Same goes for ADV as well. Everyone's waiting for each other to make the initiation. But if anyone's going to initiate first, it could be FFB. But let's see here. The Dragon's now down to 50% of health, but looks like Shyvana is going to go in first, forcing FFB to turn back. And now FFB being zoned out of this situation. The tank is still happening here, but Pit might fall. And he still has his second life. He will survive. Shut down onto Manila Anilam. That's the shutdown that they have been looking for.
And Mirai kept on free hitting that entire fight. Steal attempt.
Oh, Dragon. Who's gonna get in? Who's gonna lock in the Dragon? And looks like blue side, FFB, still able to lock in the Dragon. No challenge by ADV. No way they can do it.
Yeah, the key again is just attention grabbing while Mirai keeps on free hitting. He hasn't been the target this entire game. We saw Spells getting targeted, we saw Pits getting targeted, we saw Disaster getting targeted by ADV, but never Mirai. And that became like a grave mistake for them because he is now being able to just deal massive amount of damage, and with the Infernal Dragon Soul denied to ADV, that just hurts the Shyvana even more, or even like the entire team, because that Infernal Dragon would have been so helpful for them, especially in their damage department, especially for their pokes from the Jace, from the Morgana, had they secured it. Now, they're forcing out the Baron.
Okay, back to back. They do have the smite. But it looks like ADV, they're doing the zoning work right now. The Baron, they will pause on that. They will go in on to FFB. FFB now, one player is in trouble. It's going to be Fuyu, but Fuyu is still able to survive thanks to the GA. But all the way on the other side, Jangwon now being chased down, and Jangwon might be the next big target here. But the rest of FFB is there to protect him, and they will not overcome in on Jangwon.
Oh man, Spell's flank basically threatened everyone from ADV because they were already overextended in that position, and they just halted their chase to Faithfulboiz just because of the mere presence of that Irelia. No casualties though. I think that's good on both sides. But again, Faithfulboiz, they're just scaling right now. Ravenous Death Cap about to be completed here for Onyx as well. Once he gets that, it will just exponentially improve his burst damage and even his consistent damage, right? Because he does have the first strike as well. He has been scaling up in terms of gold much more efficiently than the Jace. I think Agnes Tachyon with the Conquerors just focuses more on that consistent damage that he can deal on a team fight, and a little bit of survivability as well. That's why we see Eclipse, but it hasn't been helping them that much. His score, it's also reflected on his score, 0, 2, and 4. Meanwhile, Faithfulboiz, they're getting more and more confident as the game progresses.
And you know what? FFB now, they're ahead in terms of gold by around 2k. And they finally caught up. So this is the moment for them to try to swing the possibility towards their side. It's still kind of 50-50, you ask me. At this point, it still feels like that one fight can determine the game, just like how we saw in game 1.
It is. I mean, they've been in this situation before already. I think that was a big learning lesson for them. They learned a lot, and they're so far applying in this game. They're not being too cocky, they're not being too aggressive, they're not being too reckless. Ravenous Death Cap completed already. Man, Faithfulboiz, they just continue to group up, deny vision, set up their own vision as well, and maybe even attempt to bait them out for this Baron. But there's a huge wave like brewing up in the bottom lane. I think that has to be addressed by someone from Faithfulboiz. And the main problem is that they don't really have anyone with a teleport, so that was kinda attempted to be exploited by ADV a while ago, but since there was a portal from the bottom lane towards the top lane, it became a bit of a problem for ADV.
Man, this Baron dance is taking a while now. It's up until the next dragon is up. They might switch their objective if it is still a 50-50 now, rather than just dancing here and nobody's making the move. And the wave will just shove itself. At some point, they will be forced to move away.
Look at those spokes, or at least attempts by ADV. The shock blast from Agnes, the pulls from Scorn not really being felt by Faithfulboiz. They're the ones being threatened a lot by the presence of Onyx.
And now they switch their attention towards the dragon like how we kind of expected. But FFP is still doing a great job zoning out ADV. And ADV, they don't have an entry point unless they force the initiation. But that's what FFP wants them to do. They want them to force the initiation so they counter initiate again, just like how we saw earlier.
Yep, Faithfulboiz being very, very patient, right? They're not really engaging that much, but they got engaged.
Oh, Jangguan in trouble right now. He needs help, and here comes the shockwave to pull them all together. This is the counter initiation that we talked about. FFB, they were waiting for this moment, and it's got 4 kills out of it. Agnes is out as well. It is a big ace for FFB.
Man, Faithfulboiz again, disaster with the clutch ults, just preventing ADV from getting that single target pick off. And I said this a lot of times here in this game, but Mirai remains untouched, and when he is just there without feeling any threat, he just free hits all the way, and the damage definitely was felt here by ADV. And now they're going to be feeling much more of a bigger threat because Faithfulboiz, they are match point.
Oh man, it is that one fight that again swung everything towards Faithfulboiz. Same story, different round, one fight is all it takes, and they push it all the way to end the game.
Incredible performance here coming in from Faithfulboiz. ADV, it kind of looks like they're running out of bullets here to use to Faithfulboiz, and their former strategies from yesterday is no longer working, and they need another trick up their sleeve if they want to at least secure a game here against Faithfulboiz. The only difference now is that it's a best of 5 compared to the best of 3 yesterday and all of the games before that as well. So they still have one more chance, but man, Faithfulboiz looking very strong.
Yes, and they are at match point right now, ladies and gentlemen. One more win for them to take home the biggest prize pool, which is 3,500 ringgit, aka 50,000 pesos there in the pocket, ladies and gentlemen. Can they do it? Or will we see a return here from ADV? Got to stay tuned to find out. But before we head on to our third game, as usual, we'll be taking a short breather. Don't go anywhere, and we'll see you after this break. Welcome back to the Wild Rift Shattered Pacific Legion, ladies and gentlemen. This is the grand finals, best of 5, but we're already at game 3, and Faithfulboiz is currently at match point, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sir Clark, together with my wonderful buddy here, Guyang, and we will be back into the draft.
Let's see if ADV still have some left in their tank, because right now being match point, that is a lot of pressure that they should be like feeling right now. But at least on the good end, they do have blue side first pick priority, and since Akali hasn't been used just yet, maybe since the Aurelia was stolen by Faithfulboiz, maybe they can steal out the Akali as a response, a bit of a revenge thing right there. They need to get this win, definitely. They have to come back here and prevent this 3-0 from happening. Still a lot of respect coming in from Faithfulboiz, but since Zillion was already used a while ago, they don't need to ban that anymore with the global ban or the fearless draft that we have as our format. They banned the Senna instead, and they can even maybe ban out like a Nocturne, possibly.
Ooh, interesting. Karma ban. Okay. Well, the Akali is open, but like what you say, right? ADV can pick it for themselves because they have the first pick. So do you think they're gonna go for that?
Well, if Faithfulboiz doesn't ban it out, they can.
Ooh.
Agnes has used it before. Manila Alinam used it before as well. They are more than capable of utilizing this champion. So yeah, Faithfulboiz, the best response is to just respect it.
But Manila Anilam is probably going to go for the Aatrox. Now, just to put out a record here, ADV, they won against Faithfulboiz with the Aatrox, but it was played by a different player. So let's see if it will be the same result or not. And also just to put out there that yesterday when ADV played against Faithfulboiz, they won with a reverse sweep. So they know how to do this big comeback here. Let's see if they can do this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's really important, right? To get your momentum going. Aatrox being locked in shows confidence, shows resistance to losing or not really defaulting or bowing down to your opponent. Even though it's a proper response, I think with this champion, they can have an equal amount of force in the Baron lane if ever this is going to be a Riven Baron lane for Spelts. It can be very useful for team fights as well, especially because of the reset potential on that Wind Slash. Corki essentially has been denied here to Shy because game 1, it was banned away by Faithfulboiz as well, at least on the second ban rotation, right? But this time, instead of opting to ban it out in the second ban rotation, they just took it away. Oh, Rel Cannon! Oh,
okay. Yeah. They were just hovering on the cannon. Not yet.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Swain.
They went Swain.
Would you
Much
be surprised if it's a cannon?
Yeah, because Cannon isn't... I would be surprised, but not in a good way. But maybe we can see some angles in there. But essentially, Cannon isn't really a popular champion, especially in high elo play or high competitive play. It has, like, for like 2 seasons, even for Wild Rift League Asia, it has a 0% win rate for like 4 games, I think, that I have seen it. So it's really bad for comp to play. You only have your slicing Maelstrom, and if you miss that, then you're pretty much useless. And usually pro players don't like that. They want to be useful even without their ult.
And the Lilia has been locked in. Now we are in our second phase ban. So it kind of looks like Faithfulboiz could use some level of durability here. I believe that ADV will be looking at banning out more tanky champions.
I like that we see both Corki and Lilia before, especially Corki, right? It's like Faithfulboiz, they are already preparing for a tanky lineup or high sustain, high durability lineup here for ADV. So now, even if they stack up these tanky champion, the Corki and the Lily can still shred him out, and the Riven can execute them. I think that's the main template here for Faithfulboiz. The only thing they need right now is someone that can actually, body block for them. That can be a Braum, that can be an Alistar on the support role. But Ornn has been used already, so that won't be an option. I actually thought that Poppy might be a great option for them, especially to stop the Rel, to stop the Aatrox, but they banned it out instead, thinking that ADV might be the one using it. And maybe they'll just opt for something like an Alistar or a Braum. Since Riven auto-attacks, Corki auto-attacks, the Lil can auto-attack too. And those concussive blows can be detrimental to ADV. But if they go for Alistar, it's pretty much okay as well, since at least he can push the Rel away.
Yeah, I was thinking either the Alistar or maybe even the Malphite for them to pick up. So both are kind of equal or kind of similar in terms of skill sets. So picking out the Alistar, like what you said, able to push away the Rel, because the Rel is just going to go all in and try to pull players towards him. And by having the Alistar to be able to push out the Rel, I think it's a great pick there.
Now I'm wondering what will be the champion pick here for Onyx, right? Because we have seen almost all the meta champions already picked up, at least the strong ones, the staple ones. And now with the Nocturne, it just amplifies the threat here coming from ADV. They have long range engage. They can basically turn off the lights here for Faithfulboiz. So communication has to be like key here for Faithfulboiz to know what's happening, know the each member's locations, and also just to coordinate amongst each other. Lots of bursts coming in from ADV. I do love the Asol hover. I am an Asol main in Wild Rift. If they come on, Onops. I think it's taunting me. He knows that I'm casting right now. They know that I'm. They usually hover this, or they sometimes even lock it in just to get a reaction from me. And it has been an amazing ride with them, especially when I see them in the local pro play. But I don't think Asol is going to be a viable option, especially with like a Nocturne, Swain, and Aatrox. It's going to be a nightmare for them. Ambessa might just be the better option because you have like better consistent DPS. You have lane survivability. If you get hit by the claw of the Swain or any of the other crowd controls, you can basically deny it with your second skill. So it's a much more balanced lineup. And since Ambessa's public execution is like long range, you can actually reach the backline, which is the Lucian, much better.
Yeah, you can reach the back line, and whoever's at the front line can be taken care by the Alistar, and that will both open up space for Riven to just be very, very disruptive on the key target, whether it's at the back or whether it's somewhere in the middle. So I really like the composition by Faithfulboiz. I think they have a really well thought out composition in that sense.
Yeah, but Onops, screw you, man. He taunted me with the Asol. I knew the second, that one pixel hover on Asol, that short hover a while ago. I knew he was gonna hover it for a prolonged period of time, or maybe even lock it in. But it's okay. It's okay. Yeah. It would have been a fool's choice to pick the Asol if ever. Yeah, Ambessa is a much safer option. Although it might be a struggle here for Faithfulboiz. They are strong in terms of like team fighting. They have lots of crowd control, a decent amount of durability with the Riven, Ambessa, like the Alistar as well. They have shields, they have sustain. But what they don't have is long range wave clear. So if they're winning, they're gonna be winning hard. If they're losing, especially in defending turrets, it's gonna be a massive challenge for them. And ADV, they kind of have a well-rounded composition. That's something that we actually see from ADV and Faithfulboiz as a characteristic quite frequently. But this time, it's really just like fascinating to see them being able to draft this amazing composition at the extended part of a series, right? With Fierce Draft already implemented, they draft this really scary lineup with Nocturne and with Lucian, with high amount of burst, but also high amount of consistent DPS. with lots of bodyguards. But the Lucian basically has like 3 bodyguards here, like the Aatrox, the Rel, and the Swain as well, because Swain definitely is going to be tanky later on.
Executing the plan, it's quite clear that the Faithfulboiz have been showing that they are a little bit more patient with the gameplay. They know when to pull them out and re-execute from there or re-engage from there, and that's what they're really, really good at. But they must do it for one more time here tonight, because it is match point for Faithfulboiz, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
Yeah, one more chance for ADV. If they win this, I mean, they have the draft that can do it, then the series will extend. But if Faithfulboiz get this win, it's game over for ADV. And it has been like a grudge match brewing already for both of them, because yesterday Faithfulboiz lost to ADV, right? In 2-1 fashion. Faithfulboiz getting, I believe they got game number 1 and then they lost twice. And the third game was really devastating for them. So I think it was a massive learning lesson for Faithfulboiz as well. And they don't really want to give any chances to ADV this time around. We see a little bit of a proxy by Spells in the top lane. He is now even invading the jungle camp of contention. So this is going to hurt his the XP and gold of the Nocturne and delay the level 5.
Yeah, and Jangwan at the same time managed to secure a couple of jungle minions. But here we go. All in onto Agnes. Agnes last hit. Ignite.
Oh, the Underfruit.
No, he managed to heal up just in time. So that Ignite did not take him out.
And now Spells is overextended. But he can actually win against the Aatrox.
Going for it. Okay. Another Ignite on to Jangwan, but he has enough health. Not going to be a problem. But he will continue on this fight. Oh, lots of pressure. Intentions. Where's he going to go? He managed to flash away to safety just in time. But he does not have enough health to make the U-turn. And now the rest of ADV now coming into the jungle side. FFB now in trouble with Pitts going down. And Pitts, as much as he went down, he's hoping for his teammates to be able to find a trade-off. But no, they say double kill to ADV.
Imagine Agnes supposedly dying but clutching out the dodge from some of the abilities of Onum, especially after him predicting that flash. Now is 2-0. Top lane being ganked as well. Spells falls down. It's a massive blunder by Faithfulboiz and an incredible performance by ADV.
Oh man, nice re-engagement by ADV though. FFB must be kicking themselves in the back for not securing those kills, but at least they are able to secure this kill at the bottom. Evening Cha down to his last stick of health. Lucky enough for him, there's no big rotation from the mid or anywhere else. But at least FFB, well, in a short span of time, they managed to pull back 1 kill.
I wish we can have like a replay, a slow-mo replay on how Agnes actually dodged all those abilities, because it was very, very impressive with him utilizing the flash to the fullest. I actually thought initially that his flash would have been a big mistake, but it gave him a chance to dodge some of the abilities of the Riven and the Ambessa, and that allowed him to force those abilities to be on cooldown and him having a chance to just walk it off.
Look at the top fight as well. Looks like Jangwan taking a lot of damage at the top, now being forced back. And this is what Manila Anilam did really well, or at least ADV did really well with the Aatrox yesterday. They're able to pressure the top lane and just win the top lane outright. And by winning one lane, that opens up a lot of opportunity for them to put pressure back on the FFB.
Now, let's see now if Faithfulboiz are going to be able to come back from this big oopsie, I would say, because Mirai is still pretty strong, right? He is 700 gold up against Shy. He's trying to go for his SS Reaver, I suppose.
Oh, maybe a bit of an overextension here underneath the turret. The turret is still active, and there's nowhere for him to go. Manila Angram will surely fall. But at least a bit of a trade here. Jangwan goes down as well.
Yeah, 1-for-1 trade is actually good here for Spells, especially with him dying.
Oh, ADV, both players taking a lot of damage, but Fuyo As much as he flashed away, he still went down, so that flash was in vain. Evening Child, 1v2, can't trade it back, and it looks like FFB, they're just falling apart.
Yeah, they are. They are. We're now starting to see a massive snowball lead by ADV. 3,000 gold lead at 5 minutes into the game. We saw Mirai and Disaster kind of overextending in the bottom lane. It could have been a kill for them, but great dodges coming in from Shy, and they even baited out Mirai to keep on like fishing for that lucky shot on those missile barrages, but Shy just baited him flawlessly. Scorn dealt the damage, and then Shy just went back to secure the kill and the gold. Now they're getting the tempo pre 6 minutes. When the objective spawns, the majority of their players are gonna have their first items, and for Faithfulboiz, they're not primed for this objective fight.
And what's happening to Faithfulboiz? It almost feels like they're starting to lose their cool. They kept running to go for the kills, and they kept going behind the turrets into the jungle very early on. Very, very confident moves. Gotta applaud them for that, but they're not getting much out of it. So now they have to just reset and keep their cool again.
Yeah, they have to. They kind of have to stall this game out a bit, slow down. But it's hard when you have champions that kind of rely on snowballing, like the Riven and the Ambessa. Both of them kind of falls off into the late game. So even if they have Lilia and a Corki, some of the win conditions kind of straights off as time goes by. Now,
and then the dragon is still out open, but looks like ADV, they will go in for it. They know they have the advantage. When it comes to leveling, when it comes to goal advantage as well, they will push back the players of FFB, and FFB, one by one, falls to the hands of PV. They even push underneath the turret, and it's still not going to be a problem for them. And now, they will gain not only the bottom turret, but might be even the mid turret. Mid turret very, very low. Intentions, not able to secure it, but is he going to go in for it? No. Be patient, my friend.
but man, that engage coming in from Scorn was brilliant, man. 2-3 Magnet Storm, and then the rest of ADV just followed up. Now they get the dragon. They got the Enchanted Summon a while ago and used it into the mid lane. That's why we see 18 HP remaining on that tier 1 tower of Faithfulboiz in mid lane. And man, Agnes Tachyon, 4-0-1. He is bad AF.
Oh man, at the top, it looks like FFB, they try to make an engagement onto Manila Anilam, but then again, right, this moment he's pretty tanky, so you don't want to overcommit onto him, especially underneath the turret. And at least FFB, they realized that they kept their cool and they retreat.
Now though, there's a little bit of a power spike, at least for the survivability of both the Riven and the Ambessa. They picked up their Eclipse, so they should be able to survive a little bit better whenever they do their short-term exchanges. But in terms of damage, it's already massive coming in from ADB. Every single member of them already has their first item, even Scorn.
Oh,
No
a bit of an attempt here onto Manila Anilam, but understandably he's low on health, but he's baiting himself because his teammates are there. Good thing that FFB, they did not bite the bait, but they're still waiting at side. Intentions is there, though. And when going for it, they will stop Intentions from going home, and now Intentions is one in trouble. They got Intentions. The rest of the cavalry, they are here right now. Showman makes a showing, but here comes Showman. Because of that, they dream back 2 kills. Give the man, Agnes, a double kill in the process.
Would have been a triple kill as well had it been one other member of ADV getting that kill. And they just the counter attacks are just so impactful here against Faithfulboiz. At this point, 9 minutes into the game, 9,000 gold lead on a scary scaling composition. This game is theoretically done. But let's see how much Faithfulboiz can actually stretch this game out and look for their chances to come back. Because ADV, when they get this kind of lead, it's almost impossible to take it back.
Oh man, I'm starting to have like visions of whatever happened yesterday, the reverse sweep of ADV or the FFB. No, this round is not over yet, obviously, but These are signs here. And ADV, they're taking control of the jungle side of FFB. There's almost no other area for them to farm now.
And simply because ADV is also just invading, getting the resources, denying gold from Faithfulboiz, denying essentially their scaling, and it's hurting every single lane as well. We see them just grouping up, but not really getting any resources, just getting information. But as they get information, ADV also spots them out, especially with their deep wards, and FFB just ends up wasting more time.
10 minutes. And right now, ADV, they have absolute control. 45 more seconds before the Baron's up, but now the chase is happening. They're going to go all the way in, but the rest of FFB making a showing. ADV, they know that they're outnumbered, so I don't think they will commit though. But they're still going for it. Okay, they want to steal away the buff. Okay, the buff falls to the hands of ADV. That's going to be a start. There comes the culling here, by the side by Shy, but not able to deal as much damage as he would have liked. And now FFB, they try to respond back, but they are fairly low in health, so they have to back off.
Yeah, ADV doesn't have 4 of their ults, and they're kind of reliant on those as well. So they just walk off. They didn't commit too deeply into that fight. They didn't really have any reason to as well, especially with objectives coming up in the next few seconds. Baron even is up already and might be of interest here by ADV. And Pitts still very, very far from his second item. But when he gets that Riftmaker, I think it's going to be very helpful for his sustain.
Sticking onto the dragon though. But FFB, they want to stop the dragon. I mean, Jangwon was there, but they immediately let the one go. I guess they realized as well that at this point, the goal difference is kind of big. It's about 9k difference. No point for them to try to contest the dragon.
It's hard. It's hard for Faithfulboiz to actually contest anything here. They can't even push any lanes anymore. The only tower they have pushed is top lane, but that's ages ago. And now Baron being the next target here of ADV. They're also soul point for Mountain Dragon, so that's gonna help them so much in resisting the damage from Faithfulboiz later on, if ever they do get that last dragon.
The Baron is up though, but FFB, are they gonna go for it? I guess at some point they have to challenge. They cannot just play passively, right? If they give this Baron to ADV, ADV can push, and by the time FFB won't have any space to pop at all.
Hopefully, Disaster being a little bit in trouble, but does have Warmog, so even if he gets damaged, as long as he is still alive, he's gonna be fine. Now, ADV, I'm actually quite nervous here for Faithfulboiz, simply because Intention or Agnes Tachyon, his next item surely is gonna be Death Cap, and then when he gets that, it's just so much damage now coming in from this wave, and it's just gonna increase even more when it gets that Death Cap. They're starting Baron, and Faithfulboiz, Fitz just got back from the base.
Can he make it in time though? The Baron is now down to 50% of health. And Fuyu at the forefront trying to open up the map, and they will try to zone them off. Looks like the counter engage will happen. They will stop the Baron right now, and they will go all in on the FFB. And FFB falling apart. Evening Child is down. Jangwon is in trouble. Pitts as well. Jangwon will be the next one to be eliminated. Same goes for Pitts as well. Looks like ADV might be able to win this game without the Baron.
Let's see, because now they're setting their eyes on the Baron instead of fully committing onto the push. And I think one of the reasons why ADV won that is because they got the pick up onto Mirai early into that fight. I mean, it required a lot of resources and full commitment by them, but just barely they got him, and that's the most important. That was the key to them winning the team fight, because Scorn got denied of that Magnet Storm engage. I mean, he captured some, but majority or all of the members of Faithfulboiz actually got away. But that commitment by the rest of the members of ADV, including like the Nocturne and all, just allowed them to just win the game. And
wait.
Oh no, who?
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. False alarm, guys. False alarm. We're just being tested if we're really watching.
I like how you put it that way. But right now, FFB
Oh!
will be tested by ADV again, and they might be able to catch one from ADV. But here comes the rest of ADV. It's going to be a big ball here, and everyone knocked up. ADV, big advantage to FFB, and they now can end the game. Big disaster for FFB, and ADV will lock in this game, bringing us to game number 4.
Brilliant Magnet Storm again by Scorn, and this time they nail it. And we're gonna be having a game number 4 because of that. I mean, starting from the bat, right? When we saw the composition of both of these teams, we kind of leaned towards ADV just because of the lineup, but the execution was so pristine as well. And Faithfulboiz, they did really try to burst out Scorn, but him surviving and being able to pop that Magnet Storm just gave the opportunity for Manila Alenam and the rest of the crew to just burst everyone out. I mean, Agnes Tachyon is just unkillable. So does Scorn, right? And to think that he received majority of the attention and damage from Faithfulboiz is just massive. And this is one of the most dominating games we have seen so far in this series.
Well deserved MVP for Scorn here, according to the system, ladies and gentlemen. And I must say, like what you said, right, his initiations were amazing. It was almost no fight for FFB, and they now face the pressure of a match point. So again, they are still at match point the following round. For ADV, they have to pull back 2 more games, 1 game at a time for them. Match 4 coming up next, ladies and gentlemen. But before we head on to that, as usual, we're going to take a short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you guys after this. Well, just as when you thought it was over, ladies and gentlemen, the night is still young. Welcome back to the Wild Rift Shattered Pacific Legion. Game number 4 as ADV managed to pull 1 back.
And they're looking to push this to a game number 5 unless Faithfulboiz finish the job this time around. I mean, you mentioned a while ago, Cloud, that yesterday Faithfulboiz, they started out great, but then they couldn't. They lost the series with a kind of bit of a reverse sweep, and now ADV is attempting to do it again. And if they do, that's gonna be a massive downfall here for Faithfulboiz, if ever. And the biggest difference here as well is that there's so many champions now no longer available. You can see it, guys, on the bottom of your screen. the Fearless Draft banned champions. So all those champions are no longer available. Nobody can use them anymore.
Yeah, the fearless draft is just so brutal, right? Now we're digging deep into the champion pool of these teams. Still, the Akali will not see the light of day. ADV will be the one to take it out because, like what you said, right? They know that Faithfulboiz is good with the Akali. So for the fourth time tonight, we won't see the Akali. Same goes for the Bard.
Yeah, possibly with the Nocturne picked up already, it's no longer gonna be an option or not gonna get any attention anymore. Olaf being banned away is interesting here for Faithfulboiz. It's like they're maybe gonna be attempting on a high sustain composition, maybe even like a I was thinking Severe Sona, but since Severe was used already in game number 1, that won't be the case. Jax though is a good like B1 pick for Faithfulboiz.
Ooh, and the Jax was banned out a couple of times before this. Same goes for the Poppy as well. So finally, we're gonna see them introduced here. What do you think about the Jax and Poppy pick?
Well, if this Poppy is gonna be in on Baron lane, then it can be useful. Although Poppy is mostly just going to be distracting the Jax and managing the Jax, preventing him from pushing the waves and threatening for a tower takedown. On team fights, Poppy is really useful, especially because of the Keeper's Verdict. It allows you to get that numbers advantage, maybe get some outplays as well. I think with the Nautilus pick, yeah, it is a great pick, but with the Poppy threatening for those cancels, it's gonna be a bit of a hassle for the Nautilus. Either it's gonna be Pits or Disaster, right? But the Nautilus is gonna have a hard time.
And the Jax is a solid 1v1, especially with the Counter Strike. So it's going to be really interesting to see how the lane will be managed in that way. Ari locked in. Ooh, nice. Ari's an interesting one. To me, it's a very hit and miss sort of champion, right? Like if you're able to get the charm in onto the right target, note right target, not one of those tanks or all that, the right target, and then you just combo with all the other skills, you'll be able to get an easy kill. But it has to be really, really precise, especially on the charm.
Oh, I love the Vladimir pick, especially since they do have Karma, they have Poppy. This is again a high pressure, a really strong scaling lineup by Adventus or ADV. I mean, RA is a big threat to scaling champions because you have your burst and one charm can be the death of you as well. But when the game progresses, and especially if you have so much protection, the Vladimir is just gonna have a really good time reaching onto the back line, dealing AoE damage as well, and just generally being a menace in a team fight.
Kha'Zix is out. That will not see the light of day. I would say that if any, ADV might be looking for more durability on their side, perhaps.
Yeah, possibly. I like the ban on the Hecarim because I believe we saw that yesterday as well. Though it was from 1.5 odds, and 1.5 odds won that game when they had the Hecarim. They were on blue side at that time as well. So they're anticipating that this is going to be a top lane Poppy or a Baron lane Poppy, not the jungle one. Volibear has been taken out as well, so all those front lines now being respected by Faithfulboiz, especially since they don't have Gwen anymore, no Lilia anymore. Not much can actually deal essential damage to tanks. But ADV actually getting this Shen Zhao pick is really important because they now have an initiator which has the isolating tool as well. The Crescent Sweep, the ult of the Shen Zhao can be very useful, and they can essentially still go with single target pickoffs. This is what's good on ADV. The way they draft is that they don't just focus on one way to win. They try to maximize it. Like it's either from early game to late game. Like having champions that is good on early game, having champs that are good on late game. They have initiators all the time. They have a champion great for disengage all the time, and now they have a safe pick as well, the Zaya. And since it now makes more sense that the Nautilus is gonna be in the jungle, not the support role, since Lulu has been picked up, Zaya becomes now a viable pick because with your Feather Storm and possibly a cleanse as well, maybe even a QSS boots enchant, you should be very safe in team fights. Even if you get charmed, even if you get ulted by a Nautilus, you have your cleanse, you will have your QSS, and then you still have your Feather Storm for the relocation.
Yeah, that's a good pick there because the Wild Growth is a strong combo with either the Nautilus or maybe even the Jax. I was able to jump in there. So basically, any melee hero will be great, but it can also be used as a counter engage as well. And what Faithfulboiz is good at is counter engagement. So I'll be interested to see how Lulu will deploy the Wild Growth, whether as an offensive spell or rather as a defensive counter engage type of spell.
Well, normally it is a defensive one, especially when you have a Kaiser, right? The main goal of the Lulu is just to be, the
Be there.
it's just to baby the Kaiser and be there and nurture the Kaiser, make sure the Kaiser is well protected away from harm, kind of like a mother always just worrying for your child.
Yeah, that will be during the laning phase, right? When it comes to the say the engagement phase, this is where the Lulu will kind of switch up the role, unless if it feels like, oh, the Kaiser is so vulnerable, they've been always been able to jump onto the Kaiser, then yeah, the mother comes in to nurture, to make sure that he has a safe home.
But aside from that, right, I think Faithfulboiz have a bit of a glass cannon composition once again, and that might be either a good thing or a bad thing for them, because ADV, they have their very own ways to return fire here, especially with the Poppy. When they get their numbers advantage, it's gonna be so detrimental here to Faithfulboiz. It's so hard to catch the Zaya. The Karma as well provides so much shield and also counter engage potential with the Transcendent Embrace or the ult of the Karma. And by the way, guys, the score is 2-1 so far. 2 wins for Faithfulboiz and 1 win for ADB. The series started with Faithfulboiz getting 2 wins, and then last game we saw ADB getting their first win here in the series. So now they're attempting to maybe secure another reverse sweep against Faithfulboiz.
Yeah, and ADV's reverse sweep journey wasn't the first time they did that yesterday. But let's see if they can repeat this again today. One more game for them to claw back before we reach game number 5. Or it might be denied away by FFP and they will be crowned champions. Here we go. Game number 4.
I think it's so important right now for Faithfulboiz to collectively at least Pits and on-ups to work collectively, work in pair to influence mid lane, top lane, and bottom lane, because what they have is a solid single target pick-up potential, right? Especially if the Nautilus is gonna build AP, it's almost 100% guaranteed that they can kill anyone, any single target, with ease. Unless like it's so much protection provided, but I think it's just gonna happen at the later stages of the game. We safely anticipated as well the cleanse, some of the spells coming from Shy, especially when there's an Ari and a Nautilus. You kind of need that.
Lots of pressure here now to FFB. It's always that one game. It's always that one game that you start to feel the pressure and all your plans just don't work for some reason. By the top, okay, Jangguan. That was a pretty close one, I must say.
Yeah, great dodge by Manila Aninam as well on the counter strike of spells, because that gave him a better chance to return damage and even threaten for a kill. And now a potential gank, but Pitch is here first.
Oh no, could this be an overextension here by ADV? Manila Anilam is the one in trouble right now, but Jangguan, he does not have enough health to follow up. So he has to let this one go, and Manila Anilam looks like he calculated his health really well for him to be able to sustain at the top.
Yeah, unfortunate case there for Fitz. I think maybe he wanted to smite a minion before he casted the dredge line because he wasn't able to connect that hook towards the Poppy. If he connected that, that would have been a guaranteed kill. A great disengage coming from Manila and Nam. It gave an opportunity as well for Intentions to clear the Scuttle Crab in the top side river. And now he's finishing up his red buff. When he goes back to the base, he should be going to the bottom side of the river. But Fitz is already there, so it's just going to be a trade for Scuttle Crabs. No kill just yet, but we do see the effect though of the pressure in the lanes. For example, Spells is a little bit behind in terms of gold. Bot lane we don't see that much actually, so both ADCs are actually doing pretty well and getting their last hit on the minions. And it might just be a safe laning experience for both of them because they don't have initiators. And their ADCs are just kinda designed to scale up into the late game to separate them.
Much as Fitz was looking at the bottom lane, but no opportunity presented to him, so it was a bit of a time wasted there. When he could have just farm somewhere else, but that's okay. I mean, it's you only spend a couple of seconds there, and the game is generally still 50-50. Coming into the third minute, we have not seen a first blood yet, so again, this is the round where both sides are really respecting each other.
Yeah, the Poppy is also doing a really good job in managing the Jax. We don't see because when you're a Poppy, right? Your main goal again is to just prevent the Jax. Oh, flash in by Mirai, but unable to get that auto.
Oh, okay, but Onum shows up though, and now he will be part of the cleanup crew, and they will get a double kill. Okay, but Onum's last hit. Agnes is there though. Agnes has to trade it back, and so now they're losing player after player. After Onums, another one went down.
Yeah, 2 kills for Onups, but then the flank by Agnes getting his own 2 kills, and there was even a gank into the top lane that that allowed ADV to kill Spells in that lane. Now even a blue buff steal, man. It's just salt into the wounds here of Faithfulboiz.
Oh, they're going in for more right now. Pitts takes damage, but he does have his teammates there. And ADV having the confidence from the previous round. They're putting a lot of pressure back on the FFB now.
Yeah, massive outplay, honestly, by ADV. Especially that first interaction in the bottom lane. We saw the killer instinct coming in from Mirai after Disaster is just sustaining him as well. But he couldn't get that kill. If it was successful, maybe we would see the Kaisa scaling up much better. Now Spells, man, he just keeps on getting threatened. Even forced to use the flash just to disengage. And ADV didn't really pursue much longer. They just wanted his flash used.
And they know that that's enough for them. Get the flash out, and now they have the lane for themselves as well. But he's still there though. 3v1 underneath the turret. Looks like Jangguan definitely nowhere to go, and there's no way he can withstand 3 of the even if he has the counter strike. But Chai
as well's dead.
In the middle. A bit of a trade on a different lane, but that's okay. At least FFB, that's what they need. They need all these kind of pickoffs.
Yeah, especially give the kill towards Kaisa.
Oh, they're going in for it again. Agnes, Hachiron going all the way to the back line just to secure another kill. Give the man a double kill, and he's on the rampage right now. As Bits will try to pursue back together with Evening Child there. Agnes Tachiron, this could be his moment to be taken out. Double kill given to the side of FFB, and they are trading it back right now. They're going in for the chase, but Bits is there to block them out.
Yeah, Mirai though getting the shutdown onto Agnes Tachiron might be really important. Now has the magnetic blaster for that extra range and better wave clear and a little bit of a burst as well. Man, Vladimir is gonna be so scary because of the amount of kills he's getting. This is overwhelming for sure for Faithfulboiz. Dragon sorted, But one ult from Poppy and the jungler is out.
Yep, you need to come back though. But the dragon is still available, so Hits can still make his way there. But nevertheless, it's still going to take him some time, and I don't know if ADV is going to give him that time though. Dragon will be locked in by ADV, and he will be there. But Jangwon is doing a solo push at the top while all that is happening.
Trying to get the tower down, and he is successful in doing so. Another invade.
Oh, going in on the blue buff, and looks like the blue buff will be stolen away by ADV. Oh no, this is turning from bad to worse here for FFB, but they try to fight back though on the ADV. ADV, 3 hits behind, but nevertheless, it's going to be Evening Child getting a rampage, and now they're looking for more. Double kill for Evening Child, make that a triple kill. Beautiful engagement here. But now they only have one more to go. It's going to be Agnes touching on all alone. This is definitely going to be an ace for FFB.
Great flank coming in from Onups as well. Although he did not land that first charm, he dealt the damage anyway. And Mirai just kept firing at every single member at ADV until it got shut down by Agnes Tachyon. But man, Faithfulboiz coming back strong is key to them getting this momentum right now. That confidence that they have, to think that they were already getting bullied a lot, but I think they got irritated already. They got fed up by the bullying that they're experiencing and just decided to fight back. And that was one of the best decisions they have ever made here in this game.
And they're getting closer and closer now to evening up the gold gap. It's about 1 or 2K right now. Oh, beautiful charm from the other side. And the finisher came from Evening Child, and now they're looking for the rest of ADV. ADV got their blue buff, but they have to back off.
Now gold, all the gold lead that ADV had in the early game is gone. Especially because of those shutdowns, and I can't even believe we see the Kai'Sa having the highest kills in this state of the game. To think that his score started at 0-1, but now he is 7-2. Even higher than Agnes Tachyon that started this game with like 2 kills, almost 3 kills rather. It's gonna be still a tough time for the Kai'Sa for sure because of the burst potential of the Vladimir. The Vladimir can still 100-0 the Kai'Sa, especially with him having an untargetable state as well when he goes Blood Pool. But you cannot deny the prowess of Mirai that he's demonstrating right now.
When they're coming in again this time, it's going to be round number 3 here at the red buff. Other side, Jangwon also putting pressure, trying to split them all out. But then again at the front line, ADV receiving all these damages. Every one of them down to 50% of health. And again, it's going to be Evening Child getting that kill just to be traded back by Manila Anilam. 1 for 2 at this moment. And they're still on the chase of the Jangwon this time. Jangwon still alive, but he's going to be able to face up with 3 players from ADV. However, Onups there together with the turret that's still active though, so he has a little bit more protection.
Yep, 3 for 1 actually is so much worth it for ADV. Mid lane's being pushed as well by Shy, getting another tower for ADV. And great catch by Intentions towards Disaster, like catching him off guard, just trying to help in the bottom lane fight. And that gave them another chance to snowball yet again. 3 to 4,000 gold lead. It's actually quite useful for them. Some of their members are already on 2 items, and their damage is starting to accelerate. And a while ago, that previous team fight, Manila Ninam was getting so much attention. He's actually being able to soak up so much damage as well that gave too much of an opportunity for Agnes Tachyon. He went in, dealt massive damage to all the members of Faithfulboiz, and that was key to them winning the fight.
Oh man, the next fight will be insane. 5 more seconds before the next set of objectives. And both sides putting more attention onto Dragon. Dragon is up. Going to be the Mountain Drake, and BDV, they could start it off. The FFP, they are around the corner as well. Okay, Jangwon might join them up soon, but before that, ADV will start off the initiation. They will go all in onto FFP. FFP now in trouble. But Pitts still able to tank it all up, and they might make this U-turn. They're just waiting for the skills to cool off. And that is where
Killer
Evening
Instinct!
Child will get the kill. Pitts will go down as well. No, Evening Child got a triple kill. That's what they want. That's what they're looking for. Double kill given to Agnes. But that's not going to be enough.
Oh man, 3 for 2. And man, the balls on Mirai going in with a Killer Instinct. Actually even allowed him to dodge the damage by Agnes Taken because he was waiting for that opportunity, waiting for the Kaisa to be vulnerable, but he managed to dodge it nonetheless. But they came out short a little bit. Onops, when he saw Mirai getting taken down, he tried to get his revenge onto the 2 remaining members of ADV. A great dodge by Agnes, great dodge as well by Shy as he backed away, and they prevented that counter engage once again.
Oof. Again, another back and forth. But ADV, they're not going to let go of the pedal. They're still going to put the pressure on the FFB, and they're waiting on the river side, the Baron side. FFB, not sure if they have the information though, but they probably saw the incoming ADV, so they're playing the patience game now.
It's tough, man, still, especially for Mirai. He needs a flash, he needs his ult. If he doesn't have that, he can't relocate with the Killer Instinct. He barely dodged that outplay by Agnes as he patiently waited for him. And now it's gonna be tough. Keeper Spirit again, getting loaded up. He cancelled.
What's the plan there? But now ADV is going for the chase. FFB, they might counter engage. They are the masters of counter engagement, waiting for ADV to exhaust all their skills. But nothing connected. Oh, on the other side, here comes Jangwon. Jangwon initiating from the side. ADV got caught out. And now ADV will continue on the fight. But then again, the players of FFB, they are pretty low themselves as well. They have to reset their skills.
That was close for Mirai as well, because Intentions wanted to commit towards him, and now they're resetting. Still clearing out some of the vision on the top side river. Trying to bait out Faithfulboiz. But since one of their members is actually low in HP, kinda need to go back into the base first, get their items, get the reset. Rabadon's death cap completed already by Agnes.
It's going to be super important for him because right now he's going to be the main damage dealer. Also shown by his 8 kills collected. So they're going to be dependent on him. But because of that as well, FFB know that he will be the main target for them.
Interesting item for Mirai, right? We see a Rift Maker, so this is a little bit of a hybrid itemization by this Kaisa. So it gives him a little bit more sustain, honestly, because of the stacks that he's going to be getting. Let's see.
Maybe an engagement, nice charm there. But that's not the target that they want. It will allow FFB and both FFB and ADV to just reset now. Doing the dance-off by the Baron pit. And ADV was behind the Baron. But FFB will definitely not want to let this opportunity go.
Yeah, there's a push in bottom lane, but the Jax has teleport.
Playing the split push here, it seems, while FFB try to buy as much time as possible. The Baron will be locked in though by ADV, and finally the Baron goes down. And now everybody from ADV going back to just clear off those lanes. I mean, Jangwon, if he was given enough time, he could have just pushed all the way in.
Yeah. But he wasn't given any time. It was a fast Baron takedown by ADV, and now they want another objective. This Ocean Dragon is going to be so important here for ADV because if they get this, they will unlock Infernal Dragon Soul on a Vladimir that has a death cap.
Oh, are they going to go in for the chase here? It's still opening up the space. From the side, Jangwon. You see Jangwon, they gave the signal, so now to split their attention towards Jangwon. Jangwon, is he going to jump in? Nope, not yet. He's waiting for the right moment, going all the way to the back with the counter strike. But then again, it's going to be Pitts, the main tank, going down. Same goes for Inrich out. Oh no! Oh no, it's starting to be a disaster for FFB. ADV got the main target.
With Mirai down, there's no more damage. And ADV found another opportunity. They want more. Manila Alanam is going for the chase, but I don't think he's going to be able to get that kill. But they just want the Nexus. They want a game number 5. They're about to get it. There's a teleport into the mid lane. No more wave!
Oh! Oh no, a bit of an overcommitment there.
Charm?
He's going to pay the price for it. Beautiful charm! allowing on of the triple kill. And now FFB defends the Nexus.
But man, it's still a long journey for them. It's still so far from their victory. Yeah, they barely survived. Nexus is still up, but it's still so close to being taken down. Half HP, in fact. In ADV, they have the permanent buff. They have the Infernal Dragon Soul already, so it's a scary situation for Faithfulboiz.
Oof, it is scary, but look at this. Jangwon, his mission is just to split push right now, and just to be so annoying towards ADV. And if his teammates can buy him enough time, who knows? He might be able to push all the way. So right now the ping is happening. Not sure if you guys hear my buddy, but
Scary, man. Scary situation here for Faithfulboiz. They wanted to get a cheeky death rush set up, but it was avoided narrowly by ADV. And now Mirai needs to be very careful. That when it becomes lightning connected, it would have been game over.
yeah, they have to let go of that buff. No choice. 30 more seconds before the Baron is up though. That could be the final fight.
Let's see if they can pull off a miracle here. Faithfulboiz is not going to be the best target, but still they're going to be trying.
Okay, let's see if they can actually finish up the job. Nope, it's not going to be that easy. I mean, you're going up against the tank, but the re-engagement comes in from the other side. Looks like they will continue on this fight. But here comes Agnes as well to shoot them all back. Lots of damage down. Jangwon goes down. They have the numbers advantage. And you can think of Hilts. That's it. Hilts down as well. It's down to Honors. Evening Child for you. And they're looking for the next target though by Evening Child. Still a lot of help. Can this be a potential comeback here by Evening Child? But no, they say they're able to soak up the damage.
Oh man, Mirai tried, but he's getting game.
Okay, going in for it, but Evening Child, one last hit, not able to finish up the job. But here goes, they know that they must try, as they might if not this round is over. And Evening Child will get a kill, but the Baron falls to the hands of FFB.
Oh man, those Void Seekers nearly got scorned. Clutch shield a while ago, but man, Mirai is really trying to carry this game. Wits End completed already. It's still not enough for them to actually get this win. El Dragon is up. Manila Adinam is not alive. So they don't have a tank.
Okay, they're still going to take it though. Now ADV is coming in, 50% of health onto the Dragon. Who will lock in this Dragon? Dragon really low health. And it's going to be ADV locking in the Elder Dragon. FFB take that one away. And they might lose in the play as well. 4 down. ADV will drag us to game number 5. The decider match for the championship.
ADV taking us to game number 5 after this incredible display of talent, resisting the forces of Faithfulboiz, and they're one win away from giving Faithfulboiz another taste of defeat.
Oh man, this is deja vu, man. This is deja vu. It happened yesterday. It could potentially happen in the grand finals. A reverse sweep. They're on the verge of doing it right now. This is absolute insane. And we're digging very deep into the hero pool, considering that it's a best of 5 series.
And Shai stepped up. Agnes Takyan stepped up. Everyone from ADV stepped up here in this game. And it's so much pressure now for Faithfulboiz.
Whew. Oh man, this is absolute cinema. That's what the kids would say nowadays.
Yep.
Crazy stuff. But still gotta give it to Evening Child. He locked in like what, 12 kills there. But then again, towards the end, they didn't really have enough protection for Evening Child. Pitts was down. The moment Pitts is down, that's it, because Jangwon was busy like either split pushing or coming in from the back. So he didn't really have that position to try to protect Evening Child. And Fuyu could not do much as well, unfortunately. But yeah, nevertheless, it is a decider match after this. Game number 5 it is. The game that will seal the deal for the Wild Rift Shattered Pacific Legion. But before we head on to that, I believe the players will need to breathe. We need to breathe as well. And we'll see you guys after this break.
Starting the Dragon is still going to be used by Rumble. Dragon is still available and looking at the engage here. The combo off is going to make sure that the Rumble cannot run away. Equalizer is going to be used, but not much is going to happen as he is going to be taken down. Akali in the background is going to be taken down by that Aurelia on the side of ADV. Has to run away. Gragas finding the engage, just jumps forward the ground one, trying to find a Morgana, and the Morgana is going to be taken down as well. Dragon is going to be secured freely by the side of FFB with Herald on. Dragon is that objective. It's free for them.
Great start by FFB.
And looking at the bot lane here, they're chasing the overextended FFB members. Have to flash away. Can the Jay stays alive though? Meanwhile, the Furos are going to be traded for the kills and jumps. One more jump leap. And FFB showing why they are the first seed of the Filipinos. You have Dragons gonna spawn in the next 1 second. Technically haven't already spawned here. Equalizer Rumble. Oh, the explosive cost is gonna catch the Rumble, but this is a tank Rumble. He is just gonna jump away. Will he be taken down though? He has to shoot, but Akali just jumps on the backline and perfectly executes two members from the side of ADD. It's gonna be a double kill for that Jace as well, and 1-for-1 member. That explosive cost was just so important to start off the fight, taking the Rumble out of the fight, even though the Rumble's a tank. But I feel like could have done better ADV there, but FFB played that perfectly exiting, you know. It's kind of a bruiser fight. Oh, looking at the top lane here, is gonna stun up onto the Akali. Will Akali be taken down? The one more health is gonna take, and it's gonna be a trade kill from the side of FFB here. Jace jumps for teleport is gonna be used by the Rumble. The tank Rumble is gonna come inside. Irelia is gonna be taken down as well. 2 members, 3 members, 4 members from the side of ADV. 1-for-1 is taken down, and the last member from the ADV is gonna be gone from the map. very confident, just jump forward. Look at the zoning there by the Gragas. Whoever steps up the explosive cost will always be a trap. And look at that, the explosive cost is going to be costed and is going to catch the tank rumble away. Now the side of ADV doesn't have their tank. One by one. Ooh, nice insight made by the Jace here. Is going to catch the Fiora out as well. One by one again. Going to be killed. Flash forward. And that is the side of FFB just toying with the side of ADV. And first game is looking to be theirs.
And there you go. With good coordination, with good chemistry, FFB secures game number 1.
Yeah, both teams are playing way safer compared to last game. Last game, even 3 minutes, I believe 3 minutes in the game, already 3 kills. And look at the top lane here. Manila Anam gets the first blood against the Faithfulboiz. Jangwon ADV is on the correct side of the game today. Used by the Swain in trades of the ultimate by the RV. And look at the bot lane here. Shy is just knocking the evening chow. Can he get the last hit though? Flashes away. Just one more pillar is going to be enough. And it's going to be taken down. But Kazakh is just there in time to make the trade kill. Them having the first turret means that they might not probably going to go for the Rift Herald. The Dragon is going to be the objective for both teams, and the Shyvana is going to get caught here. Is going to be taken down very easily. The Call of Force got onto 2 members. Pits in the pit, trying to make sure that the Dragon is here and is going to smite away the Dragon. Dragon secured by the side of Faithfulboiz, but they have to disengage. They have to run away. 4 members from the side of ADV looking to kill people, but intentions are not enough to get those Dragon, and that will be very, very important Dragon for the side of Faithfulboiz, and they're looking for another engage here. Darius is going to get caught here. Can he do well something though? He's going to get exhausted away, but Kazakh's here not going to have enough damage. He doesn't have a target. This is a 4 tank kind of draft by ADV. FFB is struggling to even find one.
They were not able to get the Jangwon. Jangwon is a tankier one. Now they will secure another objective, and the rest of FFB, they have arrived though. FFB from the back, coming in onto the front, take them down one by one. Shy is the first one to go down, but they trade it back with bits. Double kill will be given away towards the FFB, and they continue on to the fight. Underneath the turret, not going to be a problem. ADV still going to chase them down. And to be fair to Onups, his charm can be blocked. But we'll talk about that in a little bit more, because right now the focus is going to be onto the top. Agnes Pattern has backup. They arrive just at the right timing. A little bit of an overextension here by FFB, and ADV will lock in a double kill to Agnes.
Yeah, managing to kill that Swain will be the question. They don't have anti-heal. They don't have enough. And the Darius falling down again. They not going to go down without a fight. They want to bring us to game number 3, and that is actually a very bad news for the casters. Yeah, and if I'm the side of FFB right now, I would just go for looking at the engage. The Shyvana jumps in. One person is going to be targeted here, and who is going to be killed here? Fuyu is going to be taken down. A Call of Force got just enough to take him down. Lucian's going to be taken down as well. 2 members from the FFB already gone from the mine. And 8 from Manila Anam is just going to zone those carries away. Jangwon is going to take the Senna away from the back. Onups has to flash away, has to dash away and survive. And 3 members actually survived the onslaught by ADV by just running away. That's the only thing they can do right now, running away. And
but ADV, they're opening up the map, they're opening up the space all the way behind, and now they have reach, they have vision, and they are beating up all those skills for themselves. But Shy will be engaged though, then here comes the engagement by the rest of FFB. They will go all the way in with the fact that ADV, they scored the first kill, followed by FFB trading it off back. It's a 4v4 right now, but the fight is not over yet. All the way to the back is Manila Anilam, but he receives a lot of damage thanks to the turret as well. The turret is still active. FFB, they shut down one by one, but they also lose another player. Now, it's a trade-off between the 2 teams, 2 for 3. Just going to solo the Dragon while the rest of them putting focus onto the lane. Beautifully executed by ADV, and with that, godlike given to Agnes Tachyon, and ADV will surely wrap things up and bring us to game number 3.
Game number 3 is for us today. ADV manages to do the impossible, taking down the Giants from the Philippines, the first seed from the Philippines, and this will be game number 3 for us. was actually a bit too early. Maybe the Gali. Oh, looking at the top lane here. Can Manila Alina get Jangwon? The Ignite's gonna tick, and it's gonna be first blood for the Camille. Couldn't be killed. He's in a Featherstorm, and looking inside of FFB, they want to contest this dragon. They want to find an angle for this dragon. Galio's gonna spawn on the two in the front line. Corky in the background, trying to find those Gatling guns, trying to find the damage. Evening Child has to be on the way. Dragon's gonna secure by the J4. Will he connect? Will he jumps forward though? Nothing is gonna be taken down, and that is Dragon secured for the side of ADV. Another engage from the top. Jangwon finding those angles, uses the ult just to delay those backs from the side of ADV, and 1-for-1 members of ADV being taken down. The fight is still going on. Another kill. Evening Child going to be taken down by the Camille as well in a very offside position. People are recalling. Nautilus just wants to recall, but can they deny this though? Hero enters for the second time today, and that will be a flash thrown onto two members from the side of FFD. It just goes on and on and on and on, and nobody is dying now. ADV has a very good combo, but FFB, there's no target for you to aim. And looking at the top lane here, is going to spawn up onto Nautilus, going to knock up two members from the side of FFB. Hurricanta is going to jump and want to make sure that the final one, that the one that we say is going to be taken down is the Nocturne, and also Fuyu, also the Nautilus. They engaged, but they got killed. Featherstorm is not going to be used by Evening Child yet. He will delay this as much as possible. Trying to stay alive for one more second. Flashes away. Can he survive? He will survive, but the hashtag ultimatum is just enough to make sure that he cannot run away.
Child is definitely not the target that they want. But instead, they're going for the backline. That's the one that they've been looking for. There you go. That is the kill. And that kill came just at the right timing, just before the objectives.
Yep, but the combo is still available for the ADV side, and Rel is just going to jump forward. Magnetic Storm hasn't been used here. Hurricanta is going to make sure that the side of FFD could not go forward, but the Galio is going to be the one taken down as well. Since the Corky being taken down, all the side of ADV is just being taken down one by one, and Acton gets another kill for himself. The Rel couldn't do anything. Hashtag Ultimatum tried to save himself alive for another day, but all he can do is just run away. And ADV looking in no man's land, looking nowhere for you to come back. Is so much for you to rely on, It's so much for you to rely on. Baron is still up for grabs. Both teams want this hashtag ultimatum on to Fuyu on the backline here. Hurricanta is not available for the side of ADV. They have to repeat. Hurricanta is finally being used a bit too late there, but looking at Fuyu finally being taken down. Featherstorm has to be used away. The side of FFB is the one retreating. Ignite is going to take, and I don't think the Featherstorm is enough to make sure that the Fire stays alive, and ADV finally taking the fights that they want, and that will be a free Baron for the side of ADV. They don't want no Baron. They just want to end this game, and Nocturne being the last man alive. Can he defend though?
I don't know if it's possible for them to end the game though, or maybe it is possible. Okay, the minions are here. They will take down the inhibitor turret, and now the crystal is wide open. ADV should be able to end this one. ADV, they just need a batch of minions left. And ADV, they could do it, but no, not yet. Stop by FFB. But here comes the minions. ADV will finally lock it in to be our first grand finalist. Amazing match that we saw earlier on, a reverse sweep by none other than ADV of the Faithfulboiz that will send Faithfulboiz into the lower bracket, going up against 1.5, the match that we will be watching coming up next in a best of 3 series as well.
Haven't been playing, and looking at the mid lane here, there might be a kill in the mid lane here, looking for the Rise, and that will be the first blood. The Rise being taken down, 1.5 odds, gets one kill for themselves, and the coldness is finally hot. The pan is finally burning up.
Get away.
Yep, and looking at the Rise teleport here brings 2-member hashtag ultimatum. Oh, sorry, Hero entrance just to make sure that I win 1v2 survives, but the explosive cost was just perfect to bring them back to the team, and that will be a 1 kill for 1. Rise taken down for the trade of the canoe, but there's still control. There's still like a small, possibility here and there, but looking there, it might be a fight. And look at the frozen tube onto the Fiora. Not much is gonna happen. The explosive cost perfectly casted, and this in is the one who's gonna be taken down. Heroic entrance nowhere to be seen here. Lucian is calling in the back line, but the Zen Zhao is just gonna deny a lot of things, and Lissandra is the final timing. Anything goes, anywhere it goes. No, you're not gonna survive, and there you go. Lissandra finally being taken taken down. The Lucian, not much you can do. Faithful Boys throwing the fated dart. Way to secure this Drake. They'll be on soul point, but Camille's not here. The combo is not available, but she does have teleport though. An explosive cast, perfectly casted by the guy who has to sacrifice the flash. Teleport is gonna be used by the Camille and bring down the calling the heroic entrance just beautifully. The time Hacksack ultimate catches on the backline, Rise teleports away, and that will be a free dragon from the side of 1.5 odds. They got engaged, but they get the dragon.
Even though the goal is not that far off the fence, because of the map control, they can continue to put on the pressure to 1.5.
Ooh, I like this Lee Sin here. Can he find those angles? There you go. The angle jumps on to two Hacksack ultimates on the back line. Here, finding opening on the air is going to catch on to two member, but he is the one that's going to be taken down. The side of FFB, Zeri is going to be taken down as well. So it's going to be trade for trade, but only member left on the side of 1.5. What is it, Lissandra? Anything goes, and anything is no more. And there you go, Faithfulboiz find those kills that they want, and this will be game number 1 for the Faithfulboiz.
Faithfulboiz locks in the first game. Very, very well controlled game by Faithfulboiz. The moment they took down all those key turrets, the first turrets of every single lane, they did not let go of their map control. Very well.
There might be a gang on top lane. Season desist on to the Rumble. Wing, and he will be taken down. That's first blood for the side of 1.5 odds. That will be 1 kill for the Aatrox for the Hackrim. Trying to find an angle in the top lane though. Is not gonna get pitch. Is not going to be able to catch bits there. Here, Silver might be the target. Hackrim is in a very good spot. The spear is not going to connect, but the call of the Force God is going to connect. The Silver is going to be taken down as well. Now Sarah. Oh, sorry, it's a Swain there in the side lane trying to get the on here. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. The side of Faithfulboiz in a very offside position is in the enemy. It's not actually, my brain is lagging here actually. It's because of the colors, and the one is trying to run away. Is anything goes, and Aatrox from the top lane is finally in the bot lane and gets the kill there. The Rift Power, it means that the side of Faithfulboiz wants to contest both objective and core onto the back line here. Can they steal? The blue team secures the Infinite Drake. Call of Fortune is going to be called, but On is not going to survive the onslaught, and Aatrox is going to try to find the Fool, but the Fool has nowhere to go. The Anchor is not going to be used, but the stun is just free. Now cease and desist onto the I win 1v2, but the tank rumble is not going to be enough. The Fool surprise for another day, but there is no more teammates for him in our tournament. So me seeing Rumble tank, it's a thing that we're going to lose. And Call of Force is going to hit onto the back line. 2-person is going to be feared here. The side of Faithfulboiz will have to find those angles, but they are the one charging forward. 1.5 odds takes the Seraphine down. 20 seconds for his revive, but his teammates are going to be taken down. 16 seconds for the Hacker. 16 seconds for the On in the bot lane here. And the Silver almost, the Senna almost be taken down as well. And there you go.
It might not happen. That could still happen. I mean, it's an ADC and also a support, so if anyone wants to come up with a combo in the grand finals, who knows?
No, they're looking for the swing in the bot lane here. Meanwhile, they're changing target. 2-for-1, 2 fighting 1, but the Seraphine finally taken down the Swain. Trying to do something here, try to get one. Can he pop the ult? Can he kill one down? But no, it will be a shutdown for the Faithfulboiz mid laner. And there you go, Call of Force got Bitch finding the angle in the back line. Trying to get the cease on desist, but the Fool is going to zone the enemy team out. The Hackrim is just going to make sure that the fight doesn't survive, but the back line from the side of Faithfulboiz is just doing a ton of damage. But the fire, the tank, what's the name again? The tank rumble is not gonna do much with your burn if you're just building tank, and you're not gonna do enough. And there you go, the Pizar is not burned. The Pizar is just gonna clean everything up. Suddenly burst, suddenly gone again. So they need to find this Aurora. This Aurora is the crucial member that the 1.5 odds has to protect and seize. And this is goes on to the back line. And look at that damage from the side of 1.5 odds is gonna pop Levi into the GA moment. And there you go. Jumps away, can anything goes, does anything, no, he still survives, and the back line is going to get bursted down. Anything goes, and anything can happen in this game, and 1.5 odds will bring us to game number 3.
What a comeback for 1.5 to secure game number 2. And we will see the decider match in game number 3, ladies and gentlemen. What a comeback. This is what we call patience is virtue, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, they have to find those angles. Run. If he gets this charm up, if he gets the quickness onto a few member, it will be an issue. And looking at that, the red team has slayed the dragon. Kazik secures the dragon. Two short barrage in the backline, gets onto two, but no one has been killed yet. Ari just steps forward, is just forward, gets 2 kills. The Gwen is gone, the Ambassador is gone. 3 members from inside the Faithfulboiz is running for their life. That's the 3 members that Ari gets another one, and they will go immediately to the Baron.
Ooh, and 1.5, they're going for a double here. Baron will definitely be secured by the FFB. They won't have the manpower to try to contest for the Baron. Instead, what they need to do right now is just to clear off the waves and be prepared for the next engagement by 1.5.
And there you go, 1.5 also is 1 member now. Can they secure this dragon? No, can they make sure that this dragon soul is theirs? The ground still has the glacier fisher to be used with the Arctic comic. They are the one engaging again. 1.5 pause looking for the angle. Singe is just running around in the backline, and look at the toxic, look at the damage by the Singe, but not enough because the side of Faithfulboiz is dealing with the Fate, is countering the Fate, is countering their own princess story, and there you go, Faithfulboiz gets the dragon for themselves, and Baron is up for grabs.
Oh, and at the same time, Bits gets a triple kill. That's a big bonus for FFB. Not only the dragon, the Baron can be theirs as well. 1.5, they will not be out in time for them to try to contest for this Baron. And at this moment, it's really crucial for FFB. And now the dragon's being started by FFB, and will 1.5 go in?
1.5 going in, the Jin taking down the Ari. No, carry left is the Ezra, and also the Kaza. The Ezra is doing everything he can, but he's gonna get zoned away. The Braum can do so much, and the side of Faithfulboiz is looking for their Lakat Matatak. There you go, I finally used that word, Goyang. I finally used that Lakat Matatak, and there you go, Faithfulboiz looking to end this game. 1.5 us couldn't do anything more. They played their cards, but the Faithfulboiz leave it to the Fates, picking those toxic champions and finally secures their spot in the grand finals. The host Instalog has been always helping us out in the back, behind the scene as well, with their help, the Unimas Esports Club, with the students from the university, behind the scenes, those marshals and everything. Without them, it will be havoc for us. And also Gizmo Arena being here with us, still here, Mr. Chris. Hello, Mr. Chris. So thank you so much for helping us out.
Well, we gotta give our boys some time to recuperate themselves after that intense match. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Warrior Shadow Pacific Legion. And this is the last game, the 5th game that will determine who will be the champion. Starting off with the first band here, Gragas is out.
There's so many used champions already, and very little choices left for our players. So let's see how they're gonna be, adjusting themselves towards this. Although they are used already to this kind of setup, because in their scrims and in the tournaments that they have joined, especially here in the Philippines, they already got a lot of experience on this. That's why we see them, especially in this series, right, having great drafts almost all throughout. And since they had a little bit of rest as well, they should have had like ample time to prepare for this last draft as well, or last game. We see very expected bans coming in from Faithfulboiz, like the Senna. I don't think they're gonna be giving any chance for ADB to use this champion at all. And since Bard is the only super meta champion that hasn't been picked up just yet, they take it away. They're gonna ban the Akali as well, because ADV can use this champion too.
Yep, even the Akali will not see the light of day. Interesting. All right. So we have already gone through 4 rounds. So because this is the fearless draft, all these champions cannot be picked up. So we're digging really deep right now into the champion pool. And ADV, you're going to get the first pick here, and they're going to lock in the Rumble. Will this be a tag Rumble though?
I mean, it can. We we saw that a lot of times already, and it is a viable option as well. But it kind of depends on the matchup, depends on the lineup that is against as well. If ADV is gonna be lacking in damage, then maybe this Rumble is gonna go damage type. But if they kind of need a front line, I think the Rumble will just go tank. Faithfulboiz ditching out the other hover a while ago. They commit to the Kha'Zix instead, and I think this is just one of the staple picks of Pitts as well. I think for him, it's like game time.
Yep, and the volley bear was banned out in the previous round. This time it's picked up by Faithfulboiz. So let's see if that will change their fates. Now coming into the next pick. So if they're going to lock in the Hackerim, they will. It was banned as well earlier on. So we're going to see it into this next fight. What do you make about these picks so far?
I actually think that maybe ADV can go with an early pick on Rakan. Probably Misfortune. I think it has great synergy with the first two picks that they've had. But if they pick up Misfortune right now, then Rakan might be taken by Faithfulboiz. I think it has a really great combination with the Hecarim and the Rumble, unless they have some other plan instead, a different support champion. Possibly a Thresh, possibly a Blitzcrank, something like that. But I think with the Misfortune pick, Rakan might be the best route here for ADV. Not so sure though how they're gonna be able to pick it up with AC Faithfulboiz having their eyes on that champ as well. But they lock in Kalista.
Ooh, okay. Kalista, we're starting to see a lot of new champions from at least from the broadcast that have yet to be played. So this is where Fearless Draft gets exciting, right? We get to see like different strategies, different combinations, and how will they execute into the game plan. That's going to be the most important, because Faithfulboiz, what I worry for them is that they got the momentum, but in their last two rounds where they lost, they just seem to lost their mojo, and I guess that's why the extended break was called, and hopefully that will give them the enough time and also the space for them to reset again.
Mm-hmm. Braum removed. Yeah, I think that's an important one. I'm looking into the potential supports here for Faithfulboiz, because I think Leona is gonna be a viable option here to have someone to throw out with your ult, right? Possibly Braum as well, since Volibear auto attacks, Kalista auto attacks a lot, and it can be really useful as a counter engage champion to the Hecarim. The shield can block some of the bullet time. That is kind of scary, to be honest, because Misfortune's damage is kind of high. The only reason why she isn't that much used in comp play is because of the lack of mobility. So right now, as we see a hover on the Zed, that is a scary pick. So much threat, not only to the Misfortune, but to every single member here of ADV. Although the ultimate counter to the Zed is a stasis item, and I don't think it's gonna be an option here.
It's almost like they heard you, right? They ban out the Braum the moment you talked about how they can block Misfortune, and then they pick up the Rakan. So Faithfulboiz definitely know what they're doing here with the draft, to try to counter or try to at least deal with the Misfortune here. So that's a great pickup by them. And next we're gonna see ADV picking up the support. Are they gonna lock in here, Seraphine? What do you think about the Seraphine pick?
Seraphine is a great pick with great synergy to Hecarim. It's a wombo combo composition right now that ADV is brewing up, and well, Orin can't be picked, so I don't think that's gonna be an option. If they lock in the Wukong, that's gonna be a nice pick. Yeah, have the Rumble in the mid lane, Misfortune into Wukong into the Baron lane, and just have the Hecarim be one solid front line. But if they lock in Victor, that's a fine pick as well. The only problem with Victor is that in the early game, it kind of struggles a little bit against very aggressive champions. That's why we see a hover on the Fizz right now. Possibly a Zed, still an option for for Faithfulboiz. The only problem, if they commit on Zed, then they don't have magic damage. That's why they're hobbling Fizz as of the moment. And the main issue that AC Faithfulboiz will have as the game progresses is that the Victor is gonna be a big menace. Yeah, Aesol this time is a much a viable option. I think, yeah, Onups is looking into that. Yeah, I think, yeah, I see you, Onups. I see you, Onups.
You sure he
Aesol
didn't pick
is
up
a,
the ASO because of you?
yeah. Actually, there's a bit of a backstory towards that Aesol pick. There was a time that I was 2024. I got really addicted. I was a one-trick Aesol. Then since I'm friends with them as well, I always request Aesol on their tournaments. Then I host like regular like scrims, but it's broadcasted, like live streamed scrims, and I organize tournaments as well. So I always request them, like not really force them, right? I just request them to pick Aesol once in a while. Then whenever they do, of course, it makes me happy. So Onups is one of those players that actually use Aesol like, a lot of times already in tournaments. So it's not just a random pick. He has great experience on this already, among with other players, other mid laners in the Philippines. But this matchup is gonna be very difficult for Onups. Victor's one of those champions that can really distract an Aesol, because all you have to do when Aesol lands the third skill, the gravity thing, is, well, use your own gravity, your own the second skill of the Victor, the gravity pull, and it just cancels the intended like wave clear that the Aesol wants to do minutes of the game. And even if you get to scale up, the Victor can still burst you down. That's how scary a Victor can be, especially with the Chaos Storm. When you get takedowns with your Chaos Storm, it just becomes uncontrollably large and it zones out everyone.
Yeah, and ADV, they have a lot of good team fight champions, right? If you think about it, like even with the Wukong as well, very disruptive with the Cyclone, and then you have the Seraphine with the Encore that can charm a whole bunch of champions all together as well. And then of course you have the Victor, which is very bursty when it comes to like AoE fights. And if they manage to like pull their opponents into like one of those small lanes in the jungle, then that will be the perfect situation for them to execute all these skills all together.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest factors here, especially for team fights, is the ADC, because there's a massive contrast in terms of range between these two champions. At least when we look at them as a pair with their support, right? Misfortune and Seraphine can easily poke them in the bottom lane, or in fights, they can easily poke out anyone. And they have the wombo combo, the Encore into the bullet time. Meanwhile, for Faithfulboiz, Mirai and Disaster is gonna struggle a little bit unless they get in range, right? Since at least the Kalista has his ult to like throw the Rakan, and then the Rakan just goes in with quickness, grand entrance for that extra layer of CC. They do have ways to at least get in their face, but Faithfulboiz needs to be very careful, because the only one that can actually resist some damage is spells, the Volibear, but the rest cannot really. And there's so much damage available coming from ADD, especially since there's Victor, there's Rumble, there's Hecarim that deals so much damage already. Then you add in these two pairs. It's a scary situation for team fights, especially objective team fights.
And from what I hear from you, it sounds like ADV, they have the better draft. But will Janggon have the better time here? Still alive though. Does have extra shield, so he will be okay for now. Not enough damage by ADV to take him out, but here comes the flash. Ooh, big commitment there by Janggon.
Yeah, fortunately for Mariel Ananami, he still was able to reach level 2 and had like the had a shield. That's why he wasn't bursted down by spells. But Onups canceling the recall of Agnes and even forcing out his flash.
Okay, so it looks like FFP, they're again trying to play the aggressive gameplay of trying to win the jungle over early on. By the top from Manila Anilam seeming to having the advantage, but now seems like Jangguan really wants to try to fight it back and try to keep his health as low as possible, forcing him to turn all the way back. At the bottom, we might see a jump here, but are they really going to go for it? I mean, they can't really tank the turret, so it's going to be a big risk unless if intentions come from the side, and intentions making a showing here. Where's Evening Child going to go? Before that, his teammate goes down. It's only Evening Child, but ADV says they're done.
Yeah, it's something that is easy to anticipate happening, right? Great pokes, great damage, great zone pulls. Now Onox is kind of forced to catch the wave into the bottom lane so that Mirai and Disaster can go into the mid lane, get some gold as well. But the pressure in the bottom lane is definitely going to be overwhelming here for the Kalista and the Rakan, at least in the early stages of the game, right? In team fights, I think they have a standing chance. All they have to do is avoid the wombo combo, and since the Kalista does have a cleanse, and it's going to be much easier to at least get to safety. The only problem, and I'm going to be mentioning this a lot, like range. Range is going to be a massive problem here for Faithfulboiz, especially for their carries. Because the Volibear, the Kha'Zix, they have to get in. The Assault, well, can do some work, at least on long range. But for the Kalista, you don't really have that much range compared to the other ADCs, let alone a Misfortune that only needs like 2 taps.
Okay. It looks like we're gonna get the Misfortune down the moment you mentioned about it. Now there's nothing much that Scorn can do about being at the lane all alone. In fact, being the lane alone here is a bit of a risk, but at least Scorn can clear off the minion wave, and that will allow the turret to be cleared off. Any other...
Yeah, great timing.
Yep.
Great timing by Disaster alongside with Fitz. And they got that kill. And the kill actually was handed over to Mirai. So that helped him catch up in terms of gold, and even is now ahead against Shine.
Are they going to go in for it? At the back, nobody's going to show up, so this is going to be the opportunity for the 2 players from FFB to reset, but the lane will be free for ADV.
Yeah, it's a fast clear for ADV. Or maybe they just wanted to be safe because it is already past one more clear time for a Hecarim. So they anticipated that the Hecarim is going to be there, and they saw attention as well. I mean, they got to safety, but it's at the cost of so much play near the tower getting taken down.
Oh, and here comes a beautiful charm there onto 3 of them. Anybody's going to go onto the back? I see Agnes though. Agnes is going to go in from the back. Going to pressure back onto them. They're forced to turn back. They will have to leave this tower.
Yeah, so much, again, damage and range coming in from ADV. They have lots of interrupting spells as well, like the gravity from the Victor, and the snares and charm coming in from the Seraphine. Even the slow from the Make It Rain from the Misfortune is a big hassle to the members of Faithfulboiz, that they can't really stay for long or get in close just because of those abilities.
Oh man, it's looking pretty tough for Faithfulboiz now. They lost the bottom turret just before the first dragon. And the dragon can be easily contested. If they lose the middle turret before the dragon, that's going to be pretty much it. They have to hand over the dragon, but at least they still retain the mid turret, so the dragon can still be contested by FFB.
I mean, no Rylai Scepter just yet for Onops. That is a big problem. You need your slow. And to get the slow, I think it needs to go back into the base first. Let's see if the gold is enough to get the item. I think it is. But it's going to be a little late into the fight.
Now the dragon will be started, and it looks like FFB not interested in the contest. Instead, they're going to go for the Baron, so they're going to have a trade-off here. But ADV, they want to contest for it. Okay, Charm will not connect at all. Maybe onto 1, but that's not going to be enough for the rest of ADV to follow up. But nevertheless, 1 will be contested, and looks like they will start to get kills in. Are they going to get 1? Yes, they will. It's going to be ADV getting the first kill. Maybe a second one even. Evening Charm managed to get away to safety.
Yeah, it's a great trade, great call coming in from Faithfulboiz. The most optimal one here at the state of the game. But ADV, they recognize and they know as well that they are the ones capable of taking control of this game, especially the pace. That's why they're trying to keep the pressure on to the members of Faithfulboiz, trying to engage to them as much as possible. Although they need to be very careful of the counter engages, especially coming in from on-ups, because just one ult can actually turn the tides around, especially as the game progresses.
Yeah, and we know how good Faithfulboiz is at counter engagement. We've seen that one before. So ADV, I'm sure they have learned from their previous lesson of like, okay, let's not look down onto Faithfulboiz and their potential of doing the counter engagement. Let's not overcommit, and that's what they have been doing. Very disciplined gameplay so far for ADV.
Yeah, it's great adjustment as well that we're seeing Pits getting anti-shield already, especially on a composition that has a lot of shields, right? There's the one from the Rumble, Victor, especially Scorn, the Seraphine. The anti-shield is high value item here in this game. That's because the ADV with their lineup, especially with the Rumble being a tank champion instead of a damage champion, it kinda limits the supposed damage of ADV. So now they don't really have that much. What they do have though is a strong presence. So maybe they can keep on pressing onto Faithfulboiz later on. But in terms of damage, they might actually struggle a bit, especially with Disaster always gonna be attempting to cancel the bullet time of Shy, and since the Victor doesn't really have that much damage as yet, what he has is a little bit of poke, but not really like the scary part of the damage. Victor is a scaling champion, so it's just gonna be scaling alongside with on.
I noticed that Faithfulboiz have been sticking together a lot, not really putting attention onto the side lanes of the farm. And as ADV wanted to engage, well, again, they're showing the level of discipline. But coming back to Faithfulboiz, I worry that their farm potential is starting to slow down right now. ADV can scale further than Faithfulboiz.
Oh?
Oh, okay, here comes the engagement. And looks like Faithfulboiz might be looking for this moment where they will get scorned, and they will. Bullet time from the side, good enough to deal with the amount of damage for them to secure a double kill towards the Victor. Maybe a third kill as well. On to Evening Chow, but Evening Chow down to his last tick of damage. It's going to be Bits taking that triple kill nonetheless to Agnes.
And the counterplay is just really good, but ADV was still able to clutch it out, especially since Pits' jump hasn't been evolved just yet. I think he leveled up his first skill, leveled up his claw first for that extra isolated damage and just basic raw damage. Oh, outplay for spells in the top lane. I tried to use the Stormbringer, but it was a tad too late. So many kills, so much gold being acquired here by the members of ADV from all parts of the map. Prepping now for the second dragon. Faithfulboiz, they're not as prepped as ADV, and that might be a bad indication of what the result can be if they try to contest it.
When the mid turret is pretty low now, if ADV gets the mid turret, they will have access into the jungle. But now the focus is going to be onto the dragon. They started off, and Faithfulboiz will need to follow up. They're waiting by the corner, but they're going to come in from the other side. Jungle is going to start it off, and jungle is going to be disruptive. But ADV, they kept their cool. Dragon is still wide open though. A little bit more, and ADV will lock in Dragon. Here comes the fight. It will continue on. FFB tries to re-engage onto them, but they don't have enough damage. No, they don't. Manila Anilam. They should be happy enough with that.
It's a tough start here for Faithfulboiz. ADV now Soul Point as well is going to have a massive threat, especially if they get the Ice Dragon Soul. That is like a mini Z ult, honestly, and it amplifies the ending damage that you can actually deal to your enemies, and it's so suitable for a misfortune and a victor. And Faithfulboiz, they need to take things extra carefully. Two anti-shields as well. Just so much respect by Faithfulboiz, especially on the Seraphine Scorn, was able to really help out the team with those anchors, with those shields. And because of those clutch moments, ADB doesn't really suffer that much casualties despite the attempts here of Faithfulboiz.
And the goal gap is still there, but at least it's not that runaway sort of number yet. About a 2k, 3k should still be alright for Faithfulboiz to try to challenge them back. No minions at the top. If there were minions, they would have got that turret. A bit of a chase here by Manila Nilam onto Jangwan, and Jangwan, he does have the turret with him. He will be alright.
But he's being bullied constantly. Encore!
Oh, beautiful encore to two, together with the bullet time. Enough damage for them to take down the Kazakhs. And now they're on the chase to secure another kill. Double kill given. And Intentions
Man, oh man.
will be the one to lock it in, and now they will lock in the Baron as well.
Yeah, that Encore flash was just brilliant coming in from Scorn. Autumn's just in the vicinity, but I don't think he can actually do anything here in the Baron pit, especially without his ult. Man, the timing by ADV, it was not expected by Faithfulboiz at all.
Oh, that was absolute precision there. Man. And it just happened just like that. It was almost a situation of like, you blink and you miss it kind of moment. It happened so fast. And now ADV, with the fact that they've got the mid turret, they will have access into the jungle and they will overtake it.
It's a glimpse of the wombo combo potential of ADV. And Faithfulboiz, he needs to be really careful on where they want to step in next. Mid lane about to be pushed. Bits in a good position alongside with Disaster.
Oh, and here comes Jangwan. All the way in, and looks like ADV, they're receiving a lot of damage. Agnes will go down. Same goes for Shy as well. No more damage dealers from the side of ADV, and Faithfulboiz will want to be the cleanup crew right now. But they try to fight back though, but still Faithfulboiz able to take up the damage. Again, ADV, they don't have enough damage. They have to back.
I mean, they got the Baron, but it's so far a little bit of a negative Baron power play, especially with that good initiation coming in from Disaster and the follow-up from Onyx as well. I think this ASOD is getting a lot of stacks already, especially because of the timing of team fights. And now ADV, if they keep letting this happen, it might just get out of control. Again, they do have poke, they do have engage, they do have range. But Faithfulboiz, they have incredible engage. And as long as they get the early burst on the first punch against ADV, they might just get the knockout.
Who's going to get the next knockout here? The Dragon is going to be up in about 10 more seconds. Both sides can contest for it. Even Faithfulboiz, at this point, with about 1k gold difference, they can contest for it as well. Oh, they're going to go in for it. Looks like they're not going to wait for the Dragon. They will straight up initiation. Oh, that's going to be the Zhonya's there, but that will not save Intentions. Intentions will still go down. Faithfulboiz, this could be their moment. Manila as well. Out. And now Faithfulboiz locks in the Dragon for sure. Looks like they're starting to climb back up.
Deny also the soul to ADV. Faithfulboiz, their combo is working better than ADV. Especially with Disaster getting the early initiation, Spells fully engaging, and then the Meteor from the ASOL. China nearly got taken down there, but the Bolivar is just immensely threatening to the members of ADD at this point.
Yeah, they have to keep track of Jangwan. What I noticed is that he has always been flanking, coming from the side, looking for the backline, or initiating right in the middle of the fight. And that becomes very disruptive towards ADV. So ADV, from the few fights that they have fought, they have to keep track of Jangwan.
Yep. Rabalan's death cap completed already for Onyx as well. I think it's trying to get Malignance as well. And that's gonna help them That's gonna help him have a better cooldown on his ult. Baron, second Baron available right now. ADV, they want this, but it's so hard to get it. Equalizer even has been used just to try and push them away. I think the main goal here of Faithfulboiz is to just keep stalling the game. Later on, the Kalista is going to be able to have maximum attack speed and also just be capable of kiting very easily, while the Asol is slowly unlocking more and more power. The more stacks he gets, the higher his damage he gets as well.
And newsflash as well, Faithfulboiz now are ahead in terms of gold by about less than 1,000, but still they managed to catch up now in terms of gold.
Yeah.
And soon they'll be able to catch up more in terms of itemization.
From a 5,000 gold deficit to now even against ADV is a scary comeback here being shown by Faithfulboiz.
Well, let's see if they can take advantage of their goal difference right now. And the Baron is now going to be contested by either side again. We're going to go back to the brawl here. But before that, looks like Faithfulboiz, they want to manage the lanes first, but keep check again on Jangguan. Jangguan is waiting by the side, but before that, they take care of the side lane.
Man, this Asol is gonna be hard to reach as well. Most of the time, with a Seraphine composition, it's easy to get the engage towards the Aurelion Soul, but it's gonna be hard right now. The Encore, even if it hits Onyx, when he has that shield, not gonna be affected at all. And he already has the damage. The only question is, how much damage can this Asol get, especially as the game goes by? Equalizer!
Oh, and here comes ADV. They're going to start it off, but Faithfulboiz, they're going to recount there again. This is their mastery here, but they have to check their back as well. But Jangguan got his target. It's going to be shy out. Now they're looking for Manila and Inam. Both big damage dealers out. Agnes is still in the game though. But Faithfulboiz, they don't have enough help to continue on the fight.
That was a close call for Faithfulboiz, honestly. Yeah, they wanted to fight 2-1, but it almost became a 2-for-2, or maybe even a worse situation, because Onops actually got polymorphed by the Baron and got hit a lot in terms of damage by the Baron. Now Elder Dragon up. No Rumble, no Misfortune.
Ooh, no
But
Rumble.
no Smite for Faithfulboiz.
No Rumble, no Misfortune. I don't think they can challenge
Oh,
for
they
it.
turn!
Instead, looks like Faithfulboiz, they were going for the chase. They know they have the numbers. They know that they don't have those two players. That's why Faithfulboiz, they just went in for it and they will get their dividends. Taking out Agnes and scoring.
Now this time, yeah, you have your jungler, but so does Faithfulboiz, and you don't have your Victor and Seraphine. No way for them to actually check, no way for them to initiate, and now Elder Dragon secured by Faithfulboiz, and they want to get the Baron as well.
Ooh, okay. If they get this Baron, there's a big chance they can close off the game. Unless if ADV can defend this one, and they have to. Now they cannot overcommit against like how they did before. They have to be patient and wait for Agnes and Scorn to come back.
Now with the Baron, pushes are going to be much easier as well. Not sure what's going to be the last item here upon us, but I think it's either going to be a Morelonomicon or the Malignant. He can actually go for Infinity Orb as well. I'm surprised he doesn't have yet. Because he has the damage, he has the scaling, and Infinity Orb is going to help so much in getting those extra damage. Especially because of the crit of your abilities. Especially in damage on low HP targets, it's going to be wild.
When here goes, down goes the turret. And look at the bottom as well. Jangguan pushing at the bottom too. So now they're putting a lot of pressure back on the ADV on two different lanes. Bottom turret down to 50%, waiting for the next batch of minions to arrive, and here they come. Matter of time till Faithfulboiz goes in, the turret will fall. In the middle right now, also waiting for the minions. They have arrived though. And Faithfulboiz, there goes the
Oh,
bullet
that
time.
zone.
Oh, okay. But they will go all the way in. They got that. That is a huge target for Faithfulboiz. And now ADV, they're pushed back to a corner right now, but bullet time. At least they'll be able to trade it off by getting Evening Child. But it's still an overcoming from a Faithfulboiz. But Faithfulboiz looking to end the game and become the champions of Warrior Shadow Pacific Legion.
Congratulations to Faithfulboiz getting the championship win here in this tournament. It was a close call for them. The series started 2-0 by Faithfulboiz, and then ADV climbed their way, attempting to secure a reverse sweep against them, but in the highest of the highest pressure in this tournament. Well, Faithfulboiz, they evolved much more and managed to get this game in a very, very confident manner as well. They had a little bit of a struggle in some phases of the game, but man, those timings, especially with Disaster, Spelts, and Unups, those three really orchestrated how they're going to be timing their engages, and every single time they do, it lands a massive mark onto ADV, and there's zero counterplay left for them.
Oh, and gotta give it to Jangwon as well. He was very, very disruptive. Always showing up at the right timing, at the right moment, with the right angle, focusing onto the backline, initiating in the middle. Man, this guy, to me, he was a solid playmaker in this round to bring them the victory. So no reverse sweep by ADV. Congratulations to Faithfulboiz for locking it in. And they came from the lower bracket finals.
Yeah. Initially, they got defeated by ADV, right, in the upper bracket finals. Then they had to battle against 1.5 odds to get this chance to get a revenge match against ADV, and they finally got the revenge. That's how intense the game was, or the situation was, especially with the rivalry of this team.
And the revenge came at the right timing. At the grand finals, ladies and gentlemen. Whew, what a journey it has been for them. They had to play an extra match yesterday because of the lower bracket finals. But you know what? Congratulations to Faithfulboiz, and we are at the end of this tournament for this season. So, Guyang, any closing remarks?
Well, for me, congratulations to our winners, and I really appreciate everyone that is supporting Wild Rift, supporting the Wild Rift events, supporting us talents, and everything, of course, as always.
Yep, and I also like to take this moment to thank those who have been powering this tournament as well. Thank you so much to the Malaysia Ministry of Youth and Sports, also known as KBS, under the Esports Fund, which is the KBS ESI. And thank you so much to Instalock Esports, which is a esports organizer in Sarawak, for hosting this tournament. The co-host for this tournament is Unimas Esports Club, University Malaysia Sarawak Students Official Esports Club, and also the WSPL community. We also like to thank our broadcast people, Gizmo Arena, an experienced esports company, and also a cyber cafe in Sarawak. And this tournament is also supported by Unimas Entrepreneurship Center. That will be all for us tonight and also for this tournament. We thank you so much for supporting this tournament. Don't forget to like and also subscribe whichever social media that you're watching this show right now. My name is Sir Cloud, together with my amazing Kuya here. Guyang, we'll be seeing you again in the future. Good night.